And greetings everyone, and welcome to the Soul Citizens. And we are back again on another Sunday evening. Sunday. I don't know, did you guys ever have that like drag race thing where you grew up at where they go Sunday with the drag racing? Did you guys grow up with that at all?
Oh yeah, it's monster trucks.
You know about that, right?
Sunday,
Okay,
Sunday,
there you go.
Sunday.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, it's good to be back again. I am Griffin Gaming RPG, and I'm back with my illustrious panel today. All these cool gentlemen that I have on. I know some of you guys saw that we were going to have Geo Get Money TV on with us again. Geo is always a riot, but Geo got a last minute call where he had to do some real life stuff called a job and had to go to work. So we lost him today. But in place of him, we have someone just as good, just as impeccable, and that is the wonderful Stim Citizen, who has. We were on the show together yesterday, and he said, "Hey, I'd love to come on," and I said, "Really? How about tomorrow?" So he said, "Oh, let me see," and he hit me back today and said that he was able to work it out. So Stim, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it, man.
Hey man, thanks for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. I look forward to having you on Yacht Club on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, tell everybody about Yacht Club a little bit. Tell them real quick what that's all about.
Sure. So if you haven't seen Yacht Club, it's basically a place for being inclusive within Star Citizen. So anyone and everyone, whether you have an 890 jump or you barely have created an account, you don't own a ship, or even if you like Drake, I mean, we kind of make fun of Drake people. That's just for fun. But everybody, no matter what kind of ship you like, no matter what it is, if you're passionate about Star Citizen, if you love this game, if you love sci-fi, if you love D&D, whatever it is, we're just a really gracious group of space nerds that like hanging out together. So come and find your kin, hang out at the Yacht Club, drink a beer. We talk about the weekly news. We talk about things Star Citizen. Then we play a couple of times, even 3 times actually throughout the week. So we play on. So the show is on Wednesday night. That's 7:30 Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we play on Saturdays, Mondays, and also on Thursdays. Just get together and hang out, anywhere from like 15 to 30 people, just having a great time, enjoying each other's time, and looking forward to this game coming out.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks.
That's awesome. I thought when you said inclusive, it meant that us black guys could come on, but you were talking about ships, so I don't know if that means something different now. But no.
No, black
No, but we really are looking forward to. You told me that you guys were kind of changing the model, and I want to kind of elaborate on that because when you explained to me what that meant by inclusive, there are some people that think that because you guys were the quote unquote yacht club, that you were this elitist group of people, and
Yeah.
you didn't want that impression to come across. You guys wanted people to know that, hey, yeah, we love the luxury life and all that good stuff, but we're open to other people, which I think is awesome that you guys are kind of clarifying that and kind of dismissing that so that it doesn't become, something that's tagged along with you guys. Because you guys are a great bunch of people. I love watching you guys.
Thank you.
Y'all run late, boy. 1 a.m. in the
We
morning
do.
for me.
Yeah.
We try to
And
do
long.
That
too.
Pacific time is a monster, but you guys do a great job. Next in line, we have the professor KEMI65, the man who is our knowledge base here on Soul Citizens. Kimmy, say hey to everybody, brother.
Oh seven, everybody. Hardy oh 07 out there.
There he is, the official
Definitely.
salute. That's it, man. How was your week this week? Everything cool?
Oh, oh man, God, it's been busy.
I was going to say you look
Been
a little low
busy.
energy today, man. You look like you're beat up. I hope you're not tired, man. Because I know we got you once before, and I know you had a long day. So I hope you're okay. And then, last but not least, the ambassador to Star Citizen, there he is, guzzling as always, setting the best example. Fastcart, how you doing, buddy?
I'm on. Had to show off my Big Benny cup that I still have.
I see. Very, very cool. In fact, one of the things that makes this show unique, folks, is that everybody who's on the panel today has not only attended CitizenCon, but we all attended the CitizenCon that we're going to be talking about today, which was CitizenCon 2018 or 2948 if you want to stay enroll. And it was in Austin, Texas. And I did see Kimmy, but I didn't know Kimmy at the time. And the reason why I saw Kimmy was because Kimmy was dressed. He was in the whole mode of Star Citizen, and I remember taking note of him. Stim, I remember seeing from a distance, I think. I'm still kind of a little hazy on it, but I thought that the day when we were getting in line to go in, that I thought I remember seeing you, but I could be wrong. And then fastcart, I see that guy all the time when I go to this stuff. So
Yeah, and I saw you and Kimmy because you were one of the few black people there at the time. So
that's true.
You guys kind of stood out to me.
Slightly, just a little bit, right? But fastcart and I, we actually touched base the first time in 2016, and I've always looked for him when I've gone to PAX East, when I've gone to any of these events. I've run into him, even at VerseCon. We've run into each other there before too, and so has Kimmy. Kimmy's been to VerseCon.
Well, not literally, because I'm on my cart. So I don't want to hit you with my cart.
I don't want you to run into me for real. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to look at some photos real quick, and you guys feel free to chime in. You guys might remember this sign when you came into the event. This Kraken, release the Kraken sign was out, and we hadn't seen the Kraken, but boom, there it was. And of course,
I should have worn my Kraken shirt. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Everybody knows what that is right there. I actually ate that. It was actually good. I thought it was going to be some mess, but it was good.
It was all right.
This is me with Brian Chambers and old Lefty from Test Squadron. That was at the Bar Citizen the first night. And everybody kind of packing into the venue there.
Oh, you could see me in the corner on the left.
Yeah, on the far down.
I'm in the red shirt.
Yeah.
I'm in the red shirt.
I'm going to stop here. Stim. Can you talk about that picture?
Sure.
Yeah, talk about that picture a little bit. That's your shot.
Sure. So that's me trying to get in the photo at the very back there, and then on the right we've got a couple of my actually the whole yacht club cast is on there. So Doc is on the top right, Dr. Murray at the very top. We no longer have Shadowkin on the show, but that's Shadowkin peeking out at the very top, and then we've got Joran in the middle front, just to the. Actually, second from the right on the front, and then he's next to Hartswoe. That's on the right there. That used to be head of concierge for CIG, and then right in the front with a big smile, it's T Nightster, our mod. Jay the Brown is next to him on his left, and then we could go through all the other guys. There's Saren's in the middle there. We could kind of talk about people, but let's move on with the show. That's the original 890 Jump Club get together where we all put our shirts on.
That's right. There you go. Nice.
Wearing the 2019 shirt here.
Love that logo.
Yeah, it's a great get together, and I wanted to represent Jump Club because this is such a great group of people, and that's how I really kind of got sucked into being in the community and standing up kind of within the community to make video and be a standout member. But and from the Jump Club became Yacht Club, and that's where there's that misnomer that you need to own an 890 Jump to be part of it. And then having a background of an 890 Jump probably doesn't help. But
yeah. But that's very cool. Very cool shot.
Yeah, good times, amazing times.
Kimmy, can you talk about that one a little bit?
Oh yeah, Todd Pappy, definitely searched him out. He was walking around, talked to him a little bit. He gave me some insight on the game development. We talked a little bit, and he shared some insight on the game and where they were going, some of the things he wanted to do. But yeah, it was pretty candid, and he's pretty laid back, really cool guy. Definitely.
Was that the first time you'd met him, or had you met him at a previous one before?
That was my first time meeting Todd.
Okay, cool, very cool. Let's see which one is next here. Sorry about the little delay here. The video's longer than I thought it was. I should have set them for 5 seconds instead of 10. Okay, everybody knows what that is, right? That was a 3/4 scale of the yellow jacket that was
75%.
Yeah, it was
Dragonfly.
very, very nice. And there he is.
You said yellow jacket?
I'm sorry, I said yellow jacket. You know what? You have to forgive me. I'm in a Test Squadron mode. In Test Squadron, we call them.
Man.
No, it's not that. In Test Squadron, our group that flies those are the yellow jackets, and that's what triggered in my head. So I thank you for the correction. Yeah, that was my mistake. I'm in the test mode. Sorry, but that's a great shot there of Kimmy.
Yeah, good sharp.
It was fun. Didn't know who the guy was in the back seat was, but I wish he was in costume.
Oh, I like this.
Mm-hmm. One of the first shots we saw of the model of the Kraken. It was nice to see that in a sense of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
Just
shot.
the whole sense of scale.
Were those all Drake Dragonflies on the landing pads?
There was a mixture. They had a couple other ships, and there's a Cutlass.
You had a Cutlass, Dragonfly. You had the what was the other ship? It was the
The Buccaneer was
called
on
the
there
Paper
too, wasn't
Tiger.
it?
Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that shot there should prove
This
to
is me.
everybody that fastcart does not always ride around on a chair. So just so you guys will know that. All right. He also rides on a dragonfly from time to time. And guess who that is behind him, right?
Miss Hearts.
That's Miss Hart.
Yeah, Miss
Yeah.
Hearts.
Yep. Yeah, she's always gonna be my gunner. I'll drive. She shoots people.
Right. Now,
Nice.
actually, this shot I might have messed up on this fast cart because this might have been at PAX East and not at CitizenCon.
Yeah, that looked like a pack.
Right, that's
one.
PAX East.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, forget that picture. Ignore that picture. It's up there, okay? I was trying to find something that I was in with fast cart, and I saw that. And then I think we've got another shot here.
But
Yeah.
that was Lieutenant Dan, the other picture.
Yep,
Yeah,
Lieutenant Dan.
You got a
Was
great
that-
cat buggy out
that was
there.
PAX East in 2019 or this year?
Zephyrin
That was
Cochran,
19, I think.
thank you for the follow.
Last
We
year, last year,
appreciate
obviously.
that. Thank you. Is
Nice.
Kimmy looking good and fast cart right there behind him? And there's another shot of the Drake Dragonfly. Dismarius, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that.
The lady with the red hair back there, her and her husband were actually the ones who did the models.
Yeah, do you remember the name of the
Sure.
company? I forget the name of the company. Do you remember, Kimmy, the name of the company? They did
JRF.
Is it JR?
JR,
Yeah, there we go.
JR, yeah, fabrication.
Yeah, fabrications. Now there's another great shot of Kimmy with the man himself.
The Mighty Thor.
That's a great shot, Kimmy.
His hair is magic. I met him in person. It's really magic.
That's a more full shot of the model that they did. It was very popular. A lot of people waited in line to see that. It was very cool.
And that was on the
And-
second floor of the exhibit.
Yeah, we don't know who that guy is with fast cart.
It looks Photoshop. I swear to God, it looks Photoshop.
Photoshop. No, that was 2016. Oh, that was Angry Joe.
Alrighty, that's a very, very cool shot there.
Chambers.
Nice.
The one thing that's great about CitizenCon, guys, if you've never gone before, is we go to hear about the latest and what's the new things that are coming. But I can tell you this: there's even more fun with just getting to meet everybody and connecting with people. That's the thing that's really awesome about going to a CitizenCon.
That picture with me and Gio, that's from 4 years ago, 2016. I look so young. I have less gray hair.
Something I would like to share with Brian Chambers said to me, and I want the chat to understand the mindset of CIG. I said to Brian, I said, "Come on, man, let's have a beer." And he said, "What? Wait a minute, man. You put so much into this game for us, and you take care of us. I can't do that." I'm like, I look over and I look at him and say, "Man, we're gonna have a beer. Come on, get something." And he ordered a PBR.
That's cool.
But it lets you know. The point is, it lets you know how humble these guys are in that regard, and they understand. They get it. They totally get it. What it takes for us to actually back them, support them, and what it takes to get this game going out the door. So it just lets you know that they're in a corner in regards to getting this game off the ground.
Well said.
100%.
Well said, buddy. Well said. Okay, so Hawkeye, we appreciate you dropping in, Hawkeye59, and we're going to get right into it, guys. This is get something to drink, get something to snack on. This particular keynote is a very good one, but it's also a very long one. So just want to kind of give you the heads up on it now. We're going to go ahead and get it fired up, and hopefully we're going to try and go straight through. And let me know if the volume. We're going to be talking over it, guys. So we won't be talking over it, but just know that we will be making comments from time to time. Okay.
Please welcome Chris Roberts.
There's Dargenator in the bottom left taking photos.
You can see me in the front and on the right again.
That's actually kind of a hard video to follow, but we're going to try our best. It's a lot of fun. So welcome to Austin. I think we had our very first CitizenCon here back in 2013, so it's great to be back. It's a little larger venue than we were before, and we've got a lot more things on. But it's great to have you all here, and I'm really excited by everything we're going to reveal and show today. So for you guys. We decided we're going to do something very different this CitizenCon than what we've done in the past, because normally what we do is we show some technology we're working on that in the future you guys are going to get to enjoy, or we prototype some gameplay that's going to come in a year or two's time, like we did with in 2017 with Gamescom and CitizenCon.
I remember at this point I was just sitting here going,
this year
yeah, show us the slideshow.
Quite a while ago to focus on
Give us the
actual
roadmap.
gameplay content. Our original goal was to have the mission that we're going to show you now be live on the day. Obviously, OCS and 3.3 is taking a little longer, so but the mission that we are going to play and show and walk
I was in the audience saying best day ever.
You'll all be able to play in 3.3 once Lawville and Thurston's in.
I was super lucky. I ended up making some friends there that con, and I got tapped on the shoulder and ended up going up into the concierge booth at the very, very top. I was top level in the balcony.
Have different parts. And I think it's
bizarre.
really cool because it's going to be content you guys are going to be enjoying.
I made it up there
very
once,
near
but
future.
I looked under the
But I
chair
didn't see many
for that
people.
golden ticket.
Out of PTU and into live, and then we're releasing the Hearst and Lawville aspects, so it'll be good. So I'm going to bring Todd Pappy, our live director, to the stage with me. Here he is. And also we have Glenn. Where's Glenn? Who you may remember from some of our rituals. And you'll
Showing
notice
off
he's
Glenn.
wearing cowboy boots, just to give, as an Englishman in Texas, he's wearing some cowboy boots. I did tell him that he's
Awesome.
put him on the wrong side of his jeans, but anyway. He's got boot up. But anyway, so do you want to just say something about what we're going to do here in the like it's one of our missions?
It is one of our missions. Basically, high-level beat is that you'll see some of the biomes that we built and on the planet. It will take place on the planet. We're not going to go out in space or anything like that, show off any of the moons, but it is it's real. I mean, that to me is the most exciting part. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm out here.
And I think one of our focuses going forward is focusing on game content
Yes.
in the immediate future, in the current patches, improving the experience, the feel of the game. Even though we're in alpha or pre-alpha, we're really focusing on play experience now and building that up. And
Yes.
so this is one of the steps towards
Well,
that.
especially getting OCS and the core tech out.
Right.
You know, that allows us to do what we need to do. So Glenn's booting up real quick, and then we can go.
It's a real mission, that's why. And also one caveat, since you guys know that 3.3's in Evocati, is that it is a 3.3 build, which means potentially it'll be not unlike a Star Citizen demo. There could be a crash in it.
Yeah.
You may also see some wonky behavior from AI specifically, because it's all about multiplayer syncing. These are all things that we're aware of and working, but we are showing you in 3.3, in the current build, with content will be coming with Hearst and Lawville.
And net binding or net?
Yeah, so the only thing that we have off on this is the bang culling. So
Yes.
this does have asynchronous background loading and object container streaming, but we have the bang culling off because that's actually the most unstable element of what's currently in the 3.3 test with the Evocati, because it adds another level of complexity with the multi-threading and the possible issues that can happen and how things get out of sync. So in this, we just have that turned off, which means the performance won't be as good as the Evocati are getting with.
But this is 2 years ago, and they're at 3.3, and now we're at
It's okay,
3.10, almost
we'll get better.
3.11.
So bear with us if there's a crash. Hopefully there won't be one. We'll see. We're doing it live.
Yeah.
As someone,
Yeah, actually, yes.
as someone famously said.
This is this really is the first time.
Do it!
Something
Remember that from
effortless.
2016?
All right.
Almost there.
Coming through now, Con.
What's that?
Those two need to go in.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Because we're doing this as a multiplayer, so some friends can join us. So we're just waiting for the last 2 people to join. Yeah. Yeah.
What is cruising gaming?
2 and 3. 2 and 3.
Are we good? What's happening with Scott and Glenn?
Yeah.
Do we have to wait for them to be in too?
Yep.
I guess we should have queued this up before, huh?
Yes.
Wasn't that the 15-minute wait thing that we had?
I hope not.
No, but I'm just saying that we said we were doing 15 minutes before.
Yeah. That was a mess.
Someone should tell them they're hot micing, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't seem like they took too long during the presentation, but it was 2 years. I kind of forgot.
It looks like it took a
I'm
long
a
time.
little
to load.
jealous,
They didn't
Kimmy.
have-
You got to meet him. I really would like to meet him. I bet he's a cool person to talk to.
Todd Pappy?
Yeah. I'm still trying to get over the fact when he had his beard.
Yeah, he's an amazing pillar director, that's for sure. He just the demeanor that he has, and the cool-headedness and the way he sort of commands that presence. You need that in order to keep a bunch of tech heads kind of in place. You need someone that is able to handle that level of intelligence that's coming at you every day.
Yeah, he's definitely the personable one. You know, if you ask Tony Z a question, it's like you better get a chair and brace yourself. You know what I mean?
And you get a dictionary and encyclopedia to size. And even then, you might just a lot of stuff might still go over your head. It's not his fault. We're just not at his level.
I had to use a dictionary today. Somebody I was talking to said, it's so germane. I'm like, what's germane? What's germane? So while we're talking, I'm just like looking at my phone, looking it up.
Good, right? Okay.
It means like pertinent,
player 1, please?
tangible,
Relevant or
fundamental, relevant.
There we are.
There we go.
All right, so we are waking up in our hab in Lawville.
God, it was so long ago.
This is the first planet that is fully formed planet with a proper landing zone. And the goal
That
is
teddy bear,
to
now we have
what
Pico.
we call the habitation system, the hab system, that will give you persistence. You'll start off in a small apartment, but you can earn money, move your way up, upgrade to bigger, better places, get a penthouse, get real estate on different locations. And our longer term goal with the habs, I think in 3.3, the hab system is going to be not that different than what we have currently in 3.2, except for there will be persistence when you're in the session, so you can go back to your hab and through of it. But our long-term plan is you have a dedicated hab that is actually a unique location you can go to, and every player has a different one. And we have a city big enough to be able to sort of handle that.
To support
and the
it.
other landing zones, which you will see in a little bit.
So when we left off last time, we saw Hurston, but we only saw the exterior. So now we're going to get the interiors.
Very close to the city, or you might have to
Last
take a
month
train
it
out
was the
to
exterior.
your house.
To your house, yes, exactly. And you'll sort of see the scale when we get out to the city. So let's wake up, Glenn. We'll get up, lazy. And you had a night last night. Look at that. There's some beer, reading. Yeah, Glenn said, and this will be a personal choice. You can have a messy hab
Dismaria said it
or
earlier
a
when he said
tidy
we're
hab. It'll
Glenn.
be completely up to you how you want to.
Glenn gets given a hard time by Chris.
Items, but let's go. I don't know. It's kind of let's get a cup of Joe.
Yep. So this is actually going to be showing off our. This is a more in-depth interaction system and how this can lead to missions, because we want you to pick up things. We want you to interact with the world and be able to look around and hunt for clues and those types of things. go ahead and get your coffee.
I love how, for the sake of realism, everything is super dirty.
Right, so yeah, we have a cup of coffee. We have the
lived in
interaction
world.
system where we
Yeah,
can,
but lived in and never
to,
taken care of,
look at
ever.
all items, so you'll be able to
Compared to
You
the
just have to
600
remember the
eyes.
premise of
3-3, you'll be able to
Loreville.
look at your
The
weapons,
environment
look
was
at
a
objects you
factor
pick
in
up,
everything.
And the long-term goal is
it's really
pretty much
emphasized.
most
Fastcart,
items
your audio is
will-
buffering a little bit,
will
just
be
so you'll know you're
interactable.
breaking
You
up
can
every
take them,
time
you
you're
can move
speaking
them
now, so I don't know if it's
consistent, you
buffering.
can store them in your spaceship, you can store them in your house.
You know, the other thing too is that, you know, we have to think
and
about what this
we're
coffee
also,
means, that it's not just
not in
decorative. You know, we always
3-3,
talk
but
about
we're gonna
whenever
be
Chris
expanding
puts
the
something in
player
Star Citizen, it
status
has
system. We
meaning.
already have the
So whether this will be a form of
stamina that happens when you
buffing
need
or
oxygen,
something when you start
but,
your day,
you know, as we're not gonna go
you know, that
full
you're able to
core,
do when you're in
like
your hab or
survival
what,
or
but it's going to have some
hardship,
function, I'm
but you
sure,
are gonna
beyond just
occasionally need
cosmetics.
to drink some
Because we've got
liquid
those same type
or
of
eat
things on
some
our
food,
ships, you know, where you can eat, you know, without having
and
to
it's
pay
really
for
just
it.
resource management, not any different than
Prelude
you
to
have resource
iCache.
management for your ship that needs fuel and you know, power and stuff like that. So we'll have our little cup of Joe in the morning, wake us up.
It's better when I'm still working at.
Much better.
And so some of the things we have in the hub here are also.
You were talking about
to
how
play
this
with,
looked lived
fill
in. I was saying
2-3, but
compared to
we'll
the
actually
600
have
eyes,
more
this
gameplay
looked very
meaning.
lived
Here's an
in.
example of
Yeah.
placing and putting
600
stuff
eye
around.
needs.
So you'll be able, so
It looks like
it's
it's
not
like a
just
hospital.
like
It's
the
too
old
sterile.
system in the hangars where you had
And
to put it
I'm
on
glad
certain
it's getting another
spots.
pass.
You can place
Yeah, they
items
are gonna
anywhere
do
you
another
want,
pass
pick
on
them
it,
up,
yeah.
pick them up from crouching. So there's a lot more interactive ability and tactileness. The other thing, longer term, short term in 3.3, it won't be so important, but we are going to move to what we call a physical inventory system, which means that
The visual
you have
presence
to
of
be able to
texture.
carry the things you've got. There won't be any sort of magic inventory where you can just go to your Moby Glass and pull out 5 different armor sets and 100 different weapons.
Keep
So it'll be
forgetting
what
some
you
of this
can
stuff
carry
is,
on
you
your
know, already in the
person,
game, or at least
or
they
if you've got
developed,
a
you know,
bag or
when
a
you put on your
backpack,
clothes
or
like
what
this
you
cut
can
screen and,
put on your
you know, kind of
spaceship,
like
or
the
what you can
putting
store in your
many
hab.
things on. It's just, it's
Will be
cool.
all
It's stuff that we
things
saw
would sort of
ages ago.
constrain
It's still not in game now that we can see it, but you can see
have
where
and
their vision
use,
is
and that
of
would
at
also
least the
be a
early
reason as you
implementation.
play the game.
Well, that's
you
why
earn
the
more
whole
money,
thing with
you
eye
can buy
caching
bigger
and
places,
meshing is so
bigger
important,
spaces,
because
more
when you have
ships,
these hundreds
more
of
places to
items
store it.
being
But
placed
again,
and you have to remember where
managing
they
your
are,
equipment,
until that
It's
happens,
meaningful
we got to
choices.
carry
It's
all
like
the
a
inventory
retail
on
store.
us.
Yeah,
But
it's
folks are going to
basically
lose their
smart
minds when
players
they
make
lose
meaningful
that bag of
choices.
infinite holding.
I'm
You know what I
gonna
mean?
take
They're
this
going
armor
to,
set and
when you
use
start,
it.
you
Yeah.
can't carry
Pushback,
everything.
sure.
People are going to be nuts.
Pull it from anywhere.
Well, especially because
You
we'll
know,
probably
resource
lose it
management.
without. Sorry, Kemi.
Okay, so let's head out
We'll probably
into,
lose it without, you know, too many
common
like
area of the hab.
gains
We're
to
on,
show in the short
I
term, and then
believe,
they'll
hab
over time it'll
L19.
become
L19
more
residences.
you know, understandable as to why it's there.
So on the AI side, we'll see more of it we go on, but it's
I mean,
there's
it's putting on
Question
50.
is,
Why can't I have a
will
bag of
insurance
holding?
actually
about the
be
lives, a lot
extended
more that's going to come in. We have
beyond
this
ships?
usable system, I think we've talked about in the past. That
Deceiver-ack? I hope I said that right. Deceiver-ack?
Do everything
Thank
from
you so
playing
much
an
for the
arcade
follow. Thanks for
game
joining
to
us.
Sweeping the floor to having a drink.
Deceiver-ack's good
Well,
company.
even allowing the player to do the same
Yeah,
thing.
and the player, you can use the same systems and animations. And so
Yeah,
we
no,
want
I
to
said
build a living, breathing city or locations. Because the thing is, in a multiplayer game, if you just rely on the players for the population, the problem is everyone's running around trying to do a mission or earn money, and they're sprinting left and right. So the AI is very important to give locations a sense of life, which is what we're going to be aiming for here. You're going to see more of it. We're going to go down to the base of L19, and when we look back at it, you'll sort of see it's a tall, sort of upside-down bracket. Like here's the admin office in the bit of L19. So again, that's where you could drop off or have things delivered.
You know, sometimes it is amazing to do exactly this. You know, sometimes we get used to running through the game so much. It's amazing to actually stop and look around sometimes and see the detail that's all throughout the game, the graphics. We're just used to looking at what's in line of sight, but they've done a lot of amazing work when it comes to design and architecture.
It's one issue in Loreville that still just nags me.
What's that?
It's the Tammany Sun sign. When you go to that corner, it tells you it's to the left.
Yep.
Spaceport across the way.
And I pinpointed it one time, and I said, okay, that's where the sign needs to be, just above your head, to tell you where Tammany and Sons is. But it's
coming and going as well
it's
as,
problematic.
So we
But
have ships that are actually coming out of
to be
quantum travel
determined.
in
I think we
orbit,
found it more
coming
because we
down,
stumbled on it more than
landing
because
on
we
the
paid
pad
attention to
or
that
taking
sign,
off.
right?
But I didn't see any one of them. But that's because it's also systemic. so it doesn't always happen on cue because it's not scripted.
It's really
and
cool
here
though. I
we're just
mean,
gonna-
one of the things we were
we'll
talking
carry
on the captain's
Gonna
table
show you a
yesterday
little bit of,
was about how
Norville.
the
And this area is
signs
sort of the
are, you know,
kind of
visual,
what the
right,
L19
and
worker
how it
area,
translates
right?
into the
And
physical
so,
world. Because we were talking
I mean,
about
this is about
the
selling the
new
security
UI
building
and
the
how
oppression
you know
of
the
Yeah,
new
so-
ships, the
workers.
100
Hertz is the
series has
corporate,
individual
planet,
buttons. So
and the
this was the question about
corporation owns and runs it. So as you see a
the
fair
thought
amount of
system, inner thought
security
system,
around,
and so
maybe I wouldn't say the
you know,
nicest
I
employer.
think ideally they want to
everyone
get rid of inner thought. It
do
should
their
be that
job
you
and not
see the
complain because they don't
signs
get paid
saying
a
where
lot
to
and their
go,
quality's really
just
bad.
like we have it here, and it's super frustrating
you'll
if
see
it's
a fair
out
amount
of
of
place.
security around. They will, stop
I think
and
the
do
thought
checks
process
on
is
other NPCs, tell
in
you
the
to
thought
move
systems
on and hurry
was a
up.
catch-all, but
And
as they
here we are
develop and had
coming out
the
onto, I think, the
back-end
main
services
plaza
and
of
everything
this
set,
particular
then you can
area.
mitigate and then balance
I
out
think lobby's
those
done, right?
inner thoughts
Yeah,
into
exactly.
commands such as the control panels and such. So as they go
we'll go into the
forward
bar.
and they get the
And
foundational
bar,
tech laid
obviously,
in,
I
you're going to
talked
see
about
some of the
bars
things
long-term
offloaded
being
from the inner
locations you
thought
would
system.
go to get some gossip, find out what's happening, maybe have
Yeah,
some slightly
definitely.
shadier missions that you can accept.
And
versus
you know,
the
there's
sort of
when we're talking about
more,
UI as well, there's
clean
that
scrubbed ones
radial
that you would get on, say, the job
selector
board.
as well that's coming. So yeah,
I love that poster.
I think they've got a pretty good setup of UI and user experience, so UI and UX people at CIG. So
Yeah, no, we're in an active
because,
city, so
they're
we
really
actually
trying to
have
create a living,
full
breathing
trains of transit.
world, an immersive world, and user experience and user interface is going to be massive.
I just went by.
Okay.
Simplifying it
That's
is the
the
key
light
for
flickering.
sure.
You want a drink or something?
100%. Yeah, I do a lot of
This is our early
development
implementation of the
and
bartender,
design in my work, and
you can order
to
whiskey, or
make
you can
something
order beer.
simple and elegant is a lot of work
Glenn
sometimes.
is going to do an Irish coffee in kind of a messed up way.
Now I love this because at this demonstration 2 years ago, this was scripted and it worked, right? But then once we got it, we had a guy who just stood there for the next 2 years, and now we finally got the bartender actually working now, But it was nice to see it.
Microtech.
As I said, this is the 3-3 build.
Yep.
There's visual
Still some
glitches
glitches.
and
And now they've got all the
You notice
bars
how-
working now. They're all working at the major places now. Those three, I think there's 3 or 4 of them that do have the working bartender.
You notice how the
It's also refreshing
liquid
to
is-
see.
You get it.
Go ahead, Kimmy.
Doesn't reset the gravity.
It's also refreshing to see them expand it out to the NPCs as well. Because if you go in now, you're starting to see more activity of the NPCs.
Dialogue, yep, interactions,
Very
great.
important.
Were you gonna say fast card?
And there is only one out.
I was gonna say, notice how the liquid is inside when it's on the table.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody was laughing for that very reason.
So again, in the future, when we're talking about the player status, you'll be able to drink too much, stumble around, have those types of wonderful things.
Yeah, maybe you have one drink, you'll have a little bit of courage, you're like a little bit more strength in combat, but too many drinks.
Red Dragon, why would you be depressed?
We've missed the trains both
Yeah,
times.
ST Tosin, you probably will be able to get a bartender in your Phoenix. The thing is, you'll have to hire him or her or them monthly. Like it'll have to be a salaried employee.
We got an invite to go see.
That's a good point, Stim. It makes sense in regards to the
is
types
the
of ships
reclamation and disposal.
and what
So
NPCs
this
mean
is
to
the
those
mission
particular manufacturers,
is
such as,
the one that
of
we
course,
chose.
we're going to see
that.
the Idrises have those military style of NPCs, so it would make sense to bring those type of NPCs over to the 890 jump and those type of job categories.
One of the multiple ones.
100%.
No,
I told Stim yesterday, I want a chef NPC. That's what I'm looking for. I need somebody to cook the food. And
I want a chef, actual PC in real life.
Go back to player status. And
I'm going to save Paul the octopus life in game and have him owe me a life debt, and he'll just be my bartender for life.
this is where you'll come back.
Ooh, there we go. I have to
Respawn
save him
here.
from some terrible
And
fate.
then also,
Exactly.
if you get injured, and the med pin takes you back to a certain percentage, and then it will fade over time.
I don't know. I think
you'll need to
because
actually
you
get
can
fixed up
bequeath
here,
all of
whether
your
it's at a hospital or
yeah, there's
by the
obviously like a
Apollo or
death tax,
Endeavor.
but you can pass things on to
Exactly.
your
The idea is
your
the med pen is a
children
short-term
or an
solution
NPC
that
when you
stops
pass.
bleeding and lets you
I think
operate for a little while,
not
but if
being
you don't go
enslaved
and
to
get
somebody for the rest of life, I'd take the death.
Back, you'll eventually die. So even with med pens, you still need to go back and get medical help and fix yourself up, just like repairing a, you're like a ship. You repair yourself. So here we are, reclamation and disposal.
That looks so much like the new cargo area.
Hey, Pops, cover up. Corona. Hey, how about it?
Remember back when we could have things in and not have to worry about anything?
Immediately.
I think. Hello, welcome to Reclamation and Disposal. My name is Clovis Darneely.
This guy looks too much like me.
Wonderful to meet you.
He's shady, shady AF.
What can I do for you on this
How old are you?
fine day?
Not as old as he is. That's for
Got a
sure.
little Hitchcock going on.
You gave us an invite about work. Let's ask about that.
It's an
Looking
excellent
for
question.
work.
If you're not particularly concerned with shades of morality, I may have a lead on some, well, let's just call
Animation
it
looks good.
questionable materials.
Yeah.
in
Shades
need
of
forceful
morality.
collection. The devil's
And this
in
was
the
the
details, I
this was the
believe.
big one where they were announcing
Read
FOIP
them well.
as well too. So all the mocap that they've been doing. I mean, clearly this is all motion capture. This isn't actual like FOIP that's happening, but it was important for them to get the audio synced up to the lip movements of the characters.
Yeah, they were doing that in Squadron 42, making sure it was dialed in. Clovis Darneely. It comes to me now. Clovis
Clovis.
Darneely.
Clovis.
What a name, huh?
Crash site. We're going to just check the mission, I guess. Yeah. Sure we got it.
You add a
We're gonna do
V
pub call,
into any
right?
name, and it immediately gives it
We're
some
gonna
kind of
ask
edge
one
to
of our
it.
friends.
It's like
Okay.
Veronica
Fingers crossed.
or
Yes.
Olivier.
There he is.
yeah. This is that V in there. It gives it like a
Weird.
passion, but also a little bit of a dark side to it.
Remember how flubbed out this was? Everybody cracked
Yeah.
up laughing.
How's it going?
Glenn.
Chris was
Glenn
like,
was
it
having
worked
a
when
good
we
time
tested
again.
it.
Hey, look, I just got this mission. Apparently I need to go out to this location.
It looks like he's trying to beatbox.
Wonder if you want to.
Just that glued helmet to the cameras is too much,
It's funny you said that they had an area that you did the FOIP testing
Look interested.
for the game in another area or basement of the convention.
I'll catch you out there, yeah? Meet up with you. Alright, dude. Juicies.
All right. So we come. Obviously, there's still some kinks in the facial stuff like that.
Just a little bit.
I'm not sure whether we calibrated correctly. And doesn't Chris have glasses or not?
Chris does have glasses.
Yeah. So, but that is an example of comm calls in RTT with the face over IP. Not the best example of the quality that you can get out of it. But we have face over IP that's working right now in the 3.3 OCS branch that the
And
Evercadian.
they can actually play it too.
And they could, they'll also be able to go and
Oh, you're buffering
check
again,
out
fastcart.
in the LAN room, the Drake.
Buffering again, buddy.
LAN room. Okay,
So that's L19. That is, or
yeah,
sorry,
look
that
over
is
there.
that's the Habs that we
that's
were
where we
at
were in
in
the
the
Habs.
security building.
behind the security building, and then where's the worker trade stuff?
We're gonna head to
just saw the
Tiffany's
picture of
Sons,
everybody adding
which
V's
is,
into our
a
names.
shop.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy some armor. We're gonna
Funny.
buy a multi-tool.
Give me
as well,
comrade.
because we'll need that for the mission.
Citizen. Like
So
it.
straight ahead, that is to the business district that will be.
That's where Kimmy's talking about, right there. Going down to Tammany and Sons.
Tammany.
You can always stop and grab some food, but when you're on your way out from shopping.
It's better now.
Now it is, yes.
Yeah, don't try to cosplay those.
I forgot what I was saying now.
The bags.
Cheap plastic bags.
Food is the thing now.
breathing apparatus things. It may not end well.
Yeah.
Another interesting fact of Loreville, they said that we're going
All right,
to
so this is
be
this
we're going
is
to
the
actually
actual
be
new flight
be able
ship
to
that's
go to
coming
the
with
corporate
3.3. It's
building.
the
They're going to
RSI
eventually open it up.
Odyssey. It's very cool. So we're just gonna get it.
Buy the helmet.
Okay.
I think we're all ready to see the new iteration of this
we
for
need to
the
go-
Moby
We have
Glass
the
with the
suit?
building blocks.
Yeah, we have the suit. We need to
Yeah.
go get the multi-tool.
Going to help them add a lot more features.
So think of the multi-tool like your
Possibly
personal
Star Map.
utility item that will have different attachments that you
Forgot
can
the
actually
multi-tool came in
use,
2018.
whether that be cutting or welding or
Or at least
salvaging.
was displayed.
Hopefully mining, I can talk him into mining.
Yeah, like small scale mining.
Yes.
It's funny,
very
he says
small
there
scale.
that hopefully I can talk them into mining. So at this time, mining was not what the multi-tool was going to be for. It's
Put the
pretty
other suit on.
interesting.
There we go. You sure we got the thing?
Come on, say Tosin, you got to hang in there. It's coming.
Oh. Yeah, okay then.
Yeah, you only did buy the helmet, by the way, just let you know.
Rigged.
Hey, Gladestone.
Did it not let you be able to buy the RSI suit?
No, I don't think it gave him the right items.
Needs to refresh.
I think I know the answer to that, but they don't want to give away spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Write that up as a bug.
Yes.
So just put a little armor on top of the RSI.
Love how they're talking live. Oh yeah, add that to the backlog.
Yeah, put
yeah,
write that up
that's
as a
right,
bug. No, Gladestone, Gigi's not on tonight. Yeah, she's not on this week.
Yeah, you don't need
She
that
might be
on
in the room
person,
somewhere. I don't know. She
Even
might
though
be
the air
watching.
quality is bad, it is breathable. All right. Okay.
The original Grib. Thank you for the follow.
So we're gonna make our way to the train station.
Gladestone, I hope you don't
So
just come to
this
this
is the
show just
workers'
because
district,
Gigi's
and
on
that's how
here.
the
You know, the
workers
rest
get
of us look
taken
pretty
to
good
the
too.
strip mine.
See the trains going by or not? There you go. Look, so you see, so there's actually functioning. I don't know if you saw that, but there's functioning trains in Lorville. We're actually going to get on.
It'll be interesting
one
to
of the
see
trains
where
which
these
will go
trains
past-
lead to
go
throughout
to
the rest of
metro station.
Lorville.
There you go. See. And yeah, there's actually a
Thank you,
functioning transit
Gladestone.
system that we're going to head to, which is very cool. And even when you're flying outside, you can see
Yeah.
the trains on their tracks going between
schedule.
the different stations.
Yeah, the neat thing about the landing zones is they can constantly add more stuff. Like if they add a new feature, they can just add a new zone. You know, and they'll keep getting further and further out, mind you. But
I went out with some friends last night, and we went to we did a mission down on Microtech, and oh my God, the new enhancements that
We
they've
have
been
the
adding
admin
on the
office
back
that
end
we
are
just passed.
beautiful.
That's
The
residency,
grass,
and then
they've
we've
just
got the
added
security
so
building
much
right
new
here.
stuff quietly, and it just looks gorgeous. The colors are more vibrant. There's more
nice.
foliage. It's got greater height. We were blown away by it. We literally, before we went to do the mission, we actually stopped just to look at the graphics
So we
changes. It
watch,
was
we
that
stare, we
significant.
like hang out too long, they tell us to move along. Again, there's still some kinks everyone's working out on that side of stuff.
You look at the detail
let's
that's
go to,
in here, and sometimes it
the
makes you
Metro
wonder when
Center,
people say, "What's
to
taking
get
so
to the
long?" And it's
spaceport.
like, yeah, just look around, you know.
and that giant single fan that we see up there, it just makes me think of Total Recall.
Yeah, yeah. Mars with the wind air. Yeah.
Exactly.
But in this case, you need to push the soot out.
Here we can either go to the perimeter line and take us to the outskirts.
That's
or
true.
we can take the
They put that
spaceport
sucker on
line, which
reverse, he
takes us to
says. That's funny.
Spaceport. So that's where we need to go to get our ship.
To Metro Center. Transfers to the perimeter.
There's 6 different gates
to recreate
that the player can enter into
that movie.
the city, and
Total
plus the
Recall.
spaceport. So
What about it,
gives
Fast
you
Cart?
just
You
kind
broke
of
up. Say it one more time.
Idea of
We heard the last
scale
part.
This would be an interesting
All
location to
these trains
recreate
run on a
Recall.
schedule,
Ah,
so actually
okay,
if we
yeah.
take a look, we can see above, train arriving in 103 seconds. What about the other track? Look at the other track. Train arriving in, oh,
Just
Train
time.
times have come a long way.
Oh yeah. What were they like? Almost 2 minutes
So just
before
give
Kimmy, something like
We
that. They
missed
were
it
a long
coming in.
2-3 minutes. They were a
Right.
while, right, when they
But,
first
yeah,
put it out.
basically the trains
I forgot
come and
about
go.
that.
if you actually walk out and go and take the other train. Glenn, do you want to do that? Or just watch you go.
One thing that you will notice is that the transitions between
5, 4.
heliports or between elevators, as well as this is basically like a fancy transport.
Off it goes.
Now
Let's go to the
fixed,
other
so you
train.
won't fall out.
So, okay, we got 53 seconds. We're simulating this. We're going to do
Actually, the waiting didn't bother me, weirdly enough. I mean, I like it the way it is now, but it didn't irritate me when we had to wait.
It didn't bother me either. I had to wait 50 seconds playing yesterday. And, you know, that was the longest I waited in quite a while. I must have been just like a brand new train or something. But it doesn't bother me waiting a little bit. I don't like waiting, but it's you know, it kind of adds to the immersion. If we get everything we want too quickly, it doesn't have that immersion. But you know, until we have that.
Everything
like,
that goes
I mean, now we have to spawn and run to something every time. You know, when past, you know, live release, we're going to be setting up a scenario whereby we can take off from our own home or doing something. We'll work to make it better. Right now, we're kind of forced. So it's nice that they dial the times down. But in the end, yeah, we definitely want the journey to be meaningful.
We may do some other stuff, but our trains definitely run on time.
So the AI in the future will be able to transition between the spaceport and L19. Right now they don't, so it will be a.
You know, I'm just seeing all the AI walking around. All I can think of is Tony Zervik's talk about how all the quanta in 2019 they're going to be, you know, going from center to center and landing and doing what they're doing, and as someone changes, it changes. We're going to have all of these, you know, 24-hour cycles that NPCs will have. You know, we're getting NPC homesteads where they're going to live, and then they're going to travel into the city, and they're going to have a 24-hour work schedule. Just unbelievable.
And that's
it's more so of the effects of the NPCs that when you look at the 90% compared to us, which is the 10, and it's kind of when you see an area that's not populated with a lot of people, then you see more of the NPC activity, and then you see the reversal. Once you have areas that are saturated with actual people, you'll see less of them, but the effects of the NPCs themselves, the coming and going and the taking away of resources is still present in game, even though you don't see them.
Keeps the world feeling lived in, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
Point A to point B, but we're going to have them like have
I wonder if they'll get rid of. I mean, right now we don't have. You have to be in party to see people's names above them, which is a good thing. And you know, sometimes you can't even see names above people if they are in party. But you know, if people walk. If we can make it so that players have the same walk, I mean, most of the time we just run everywhere we're going as a player, right? It's ridiculous. The stamina system, once that you know is properly implemented, that will help things out. But you know, it's great that somebody can just walk and not be taken for you know a player. You can actually hide in plain sight.
All right. So longer term,
it might be great to walk.
Order system that we're going to be working with.
It might be.
Between places, you know, depending on what you carry, there'll be checkpoints, so you won't be able to necessarily say carry weapons or contraband, and that's kind of what these custom points are. They're not fully operating yet, but that's the longer-term goal. Won't be in 3.3, but as the law and order system comes in, that's all going to be part of it. And here we are.
Just for the smugglers, that makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, you got to find a backdoor entrance or how to come or how to hide it. And smuggling is a specific kind of gameplay that we are going to.
Yeah, St. Tosin, remember, they used to be, if you walked up to them, they'd actually tell you to move along, or they'd make a remark to you, and they took that out. There's a lot of things they'll put in just for testing sake, and then they remove it. I was looking at when we were in the hab, how he was able to pick up the coffee, for example. If you remember when the habs first came out, you could pick up the plates, the coffee, you could pick up everything. Same thing with the 890. When the 890 came out, you could pick up all the glasses in the bar, and now everything's glued down because it's not necessary. Not to mention the toll that's got to be taking on servers, having 500 items on an 890 that are loose.
I don't know, are there any
Has anyone ever looked down there to take a closer look at the ships?
Yeah, the ones on the deck down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do we disable the ships coming and going? I don't know.
How do they look
So in
on
the
there?
spaceports, you'll come. There'll be sort of hubs. So
They look
normally
decent.
there'll probably be a ship dealer. There is actually a ship
The
dealer.
only place I see where the
spaceport,
ships don't look that
which
great
we'll
is
go
on
into
our
later
corp, the
on.
ones that are running through that
There'll be
highway
different
tunnel,
lounges,
and you can
so
tell those aren't
maybe
very
one for
good.
the Chairman's Club, one for sort of UE, USO style one.
I mean, there's a Phoenix in our corp that is only half done. Exterior.
In the various spaceports. We're going to go and just retrieve our ship.
Be nice if they replace
go
those
on the
ships
mission.
with the 100R series that's coming out pretty
The
soon.
rework.
We're good to see that.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll take the new Mustang, which has been reworked.
Your ship has been delivered
Not
to
the
following
Aurora.
landing point.
No.
I think Griffin said there's a P2U patch today, right?
There was a PTU
So
patch,
over in that
yes.
direction, we're going to go back and visit later on. Is actually where the
They're
ship
still
dealer
dealing
is,
with the
which is a big
inventory
deal, because
issue.
in
Kimmy and I have
3.3,
run into this
when
where
Hurst and
you
Lowell
go
are
to
in,
prison.
you'll be able
Sometimes
to
items
buy
that
ships,
you're carrying with
and
you
also
either stay on you, or when you come out of prison, you've lost stuff. Sometimes
here,
you're going
so
to
our
prison,
ship rental
you'll still have all your weapons on you.
um,
And then when you come out of prison, you're still wearing your prison
because
armor. So
we're gonna have
that's one of the things they're doing. The
ship,
loadouts right now is what the
dealers
testing's
or
on.
Places that will specialize, like here's an Origin dealer or whatever. So
They try to
also
keep
be
that
used
your
ship dealers,
inventory
like,
off
have
the
one on
back end
Levski called
services, but
Teachers,
Yep.
which
they
will be
need
fun. We'll go visit this
they need
later.
the
Let's go
foundational
to,
tech
oh,
like
and down here,
yesterday.
sorry, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn's reminding me. Long term, you're also going to be able to take like transit, just the same like we have the transit system in the train, commercial transport to different locations on the planet or off-world. So that would be where that would be down in the spaceport, and we would build that. So as an NPC, you could fly your own ship, or you could take a ship to get there, basically a Starliner. So let's go down to the hangar. And in 3.3 of Lowell
Mention the
Hurston,
Starliner.
we've got two hangar types that we've built, which is the large hangar and the extra
I can't
large,
wait for the
because they
Starliner.
will
I think the
hold
Genesis
every
is
ship. Now, obviously,
one of my
we're gonna
most.
be in
It's
a
definitely one of
large
my most
hangar, even though we're in a
anticipated
Mustang.
ships.
It's too big of a
I just
really hangar for
the
a
whole
Mustang,
concept
but
of just
it's
flying
self-scale.
back and
Yeah,
forth,
you'll get a sense of scale,
trading.
and,
I don't know why I like it so much.
either
It's
for
kind of the
3-4
Care
or
Bear
just
gamer
after
in me, I
3-4,
guess. But
the small hangar will come in line. There are
It's basically a
small
space
hangars,
airline pilot. It's a cool
like,
idea.
places in the spaceport. It's just we haven't finished.
We were talking about the Starliner last week, in fact, on our multi-purpose ship. So
nice.
This is how we scale.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of
You know,
the
we
it's one of the
take
ones
these-
that's
we
going to be
build these big
converted for
elements, and then we
military
can bring
use
them
and
down
cargo
build
as well.
Smaller elements out of that.
So here's,
It's going to be a
here's the
great
large
cargo
hangar,
ship,
which
actually.
will fit lots of ships.
Starliner
not just the
definitely adds
Mustang.
to the premise of
And
NPCs
again,
actually
longer
getting
term,
on
there
that
we still
ship
have some AI going around, but,
and
you know,
moving
people will be
about through
moving
the system,
parts,
whether
when
it
you
means
land, they'll bring
performing
stuff
jobs
over
or
to your
going to
ship.
work.
So the long-term goal is to have
Yeah, I
the
wonder,
AI,
if you
in
own
the
your
place,
own
give it a sense
Genesis,
of life,
rather,
give it a sense of
how that works for,
operation. So,
your
you
reputation
know, they're
system
coming
and
out
how
to
many
refuel your
NPCs
ship,
would
coming
jump
out to
on
fix it
your
up,
ship to
all
go
the rest
fly.
of it.
Like the better
Let's
your
get our
rep
helmet on
and the less you
and,
charge,
go
the
for a
more
flight.
players you get. Like, how does that work? Or
You
the
know they're
more
gonna
rep.
they're probably going to start with some basic mission stuff. If you've noticed, they've got the commercial departures set at ArcCorp and Hurston and New Babbage. So you pull a mission
Yes.
and you go there, and basically I can easily see them saying something as simple as, are you delivering them safely? Are you delivering them on time? Are you departing on time? The things they'll evaluate you on, until they finally do get the reporting where it says, other things like how well do you treat the passengers. Those are things that they talked about later coming on board with it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it too. That's just a
right,
whole
like-
different thing.
Like the Mixmaster.
yeah, I'm
and all
excited
that,
about the I'm excited about the reputation system as well. I'm interested to see how you will implement it in game.
Yeah, 100% fastcart, and it almost makes you think now when you talk about it, it's not just the rep from like the mission givers that your mission giver is the customer a lot of the times, but in this case where you're flying around
We just got him
passengers,
in. He's a
it's
little
almost
blown out.
like
We can't hear about it.
crowdsourcing your reputation because you're getting ratings from each passenger,
Permission to take off.
like that one passenger that you spilt the coffee on them or something. Like, I'm trying to come up with an idea.
So,
They give you a 1 or a 0 or something out of 5, right?
So you get your Uber rating basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically
Only-
chasing after that 100%
Oh, yeah,
or
there's a-
5-star in your
it's all
travels.
physically correct, so The hangar is
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I got the
When you're playing, you'll see
890
other
as
players
well,
coming and going,
is
landing in the
because
hangars.
you know it's going to be less people to please, but a lot more picky clients.
So we're also introducing a restricted zone.
Just different problems, really.
Area, which is like you're not,
More did we run out of champagne versus baby crying in the third row.
Over there, right there is where you spawned.
It's a great view of
So
the
this gives you a
Kraken
good
down
sense of
there on the
scale.
platform.
And I don't know if we can see, but you
Remember when you
should
could just
see
go up
trains
and up
run
and
on
up?
tracks, depending. I think there's tracks to the left there. I can't.
I know
So
it's very frustrating with the
timing,
splines for some people, but the splines don't make sense right now because in general you're just seeing all this open space and saying, why can't I just?
And obviously,
But when air traffic
can see
comes
Lawville's
in
made
later,
quite a lot of
when you
progress
start
from last
talking
year
about a
when we
7-to-1 or 5-to-1
in the
ratio of
Arctic
other
demo
ships that are
in
flying in and out,
CitizenCon.
starfares and
We spent a
everything
fair
else,
amount of time,
your field of
building
view
it
is
out and
only
also building
so
it in a
far.
way that,
You know what I mean?
will
And
be
you'll have it's like any other air traffic. You're going to have to basically go where controllers tell you to go,
think
at least in
you can
populated
increase the size of
areas.
the
You know,
building
the
quite a lot,
popular
too.
major cities.
Think about the
sense of just
air
how
traffic
big,
control
the main Hurston building
crisis
is.
a
And
few
in,
decades
the
back
goal
when they
is
went on
3,
strike
4,
and the
or just
government
after
went
it,
nuts
this opens up as a whole
because
separate area
they
for
didn't have anyone
trains
to actually
go visit in.
direct airplane traffic, and there were so many near misses in the air. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
No.
The almighty Mustang.
The ship
Mustang
everyone
not
hated
getting
last
that love.
week.
I remember they released the CitizenCon 2018 version of the Mustang too.
Yeah, the Vindicator. Is it the Vindicator? I think that's the name of it. It's a white one.
Oh yeah. The only special one I really remember is the Omega, the AMD promo.
Don't build the Omega, man. I get one for like 6 years now.
Oh man.
Delta was the military.
Gamma's the racer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Gamma and the Omega are both racers.
Is the Omega faster? What's its deal?
So I think we've got a.
Omega has 2 engines. Gamma has 1. But as far as I can recall, they're both the same.
So Hurston's actually built
Like
out of
same
6
top
biomes.
speed and acceleration and stuff.
We've got desert, savanna, acidic.
They had to do a rework for the
straight-line,
Mustang as well. I
trash,
think this was
and
a
wooded
new
coast.
rework that they were also
So
introducing, where
here
the
you'll
wing
see
was integrated with
coast,
the engines or
if
something.
Glenn flew
Well, the
down
landing gear and the
towards
wing was all integrated,
ocean.
and so it was pretty much broken. If you destroyed the wing, you couldn't land.
Yeah, and Hurston
Right,
is,
and people got really frustrated that the skid went away.
2,000 diameter,
They kept it as like an art
so
piece, but it's not a
about
landing
Earth's
thing.
size based on our ratio. So we're doing
Yeah, that was
1/6
Elwin Batchelor who did the
main
rework.
planets, and that's mostly just for traversal reasons, because you'll see it already takes quite a while to fly.
What do you guys take on for wheels on spacecraft versus
the old
like
flight
skids?
model, we had some of it, but the new flight model even more enforces it. So
I
when you're down in
very
atmosphere,
rarely
different
roll
it is.
in, even when I have a ship that does have wheels. I still usually come down more VTOL than anything, but I've watched people do roll-in landings, and it always looks cool to me. You know, it's just for control's sake, I always VTOL more than
It's a
anything.
nice balance between
Me
having the
too.
size and the scale.
I just wonder if we're actually going to taxi anywhere.
In reasonable times.
You know,
It could happen.
So I think that's
Maybe on the curve.
the acidic area, and then there's sort of polluted coast here. And we're
You know, again,
heading,
Chris doesn't put stuff in the game if it's not going to have a
towards,
purpose. So I've watched people
place
land
we
those
control the
Vanguards
mission,
and stuff,
and
you
this
know, using
particular
the wheels
mission,
and stuff
I
to take
believe,
off with
can
them. So
spawn in multiple
usually you just have to have a good enough
locations.
flat
This
surface with the
location
length. We just don't have
around,
anything with a
Thurston.
runway length to do it, I guess.
So,
And also have multiple branches to it.
and
I guess
yeah,
it's I guess it's
can be
neat that, you know,
multi-part
if
and not
you land with
multi-part,
a
different,
let's say a Warden,
sizes
you
and
can
stuff,
use
so-
the is the Warden that has the tracks on the back?
Yep.
Which one?
No, the Warden's got wheels, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, except the
which
tracks
one
in
has
the wheels.
track?
It's tracks in the wheels, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the tracks
Yep.
on the back for,
Yep,
for
yep.
one of the Vanguard series.
expecting all
Yeah,
you guys, once you get
and you
hold
know,
of
I guess you
Thurston,
could
yeah, I'll-
track. It's
be lots
weird.
of
It only has
pretty
tracks on the back.
screenshots, cool community
What
video,
value is there to that? Maybe it
better
doesn't
than we
sink
managed to
in
do,
It's got to be
mud
some
as
method to the
much?
madness. It's got to be some
It's
method
actually
to
one
the
of the
madness.
nicest
It's
things
gotta
about coming
be.
to new releases, seeing all the content that you guys.
Why can't it just be madness sometime?
I'm not paying for madness. I'm paying for method. Trust me.
I hear you, the fast card. So this was really cool. This is about the greenest we saw for a long time on Hurston.
That aren't in this one, but there'll be a planetary bombardment kind of biome. So like Hurston uses, they make weapons and they use the planet for testing.
What company is
sort of
TGS?
Cratered area that they're
TGS
testing their
is.
orbital devices, and then there's going to be the executive gardens, which will be really sort of plush, for the 1% of Hurston that they've got their walled gardens. And
Ooh,
it's not
Commander
fully
Sigma
I think it's a great starship, but
Oh, yeah.
from hoi polloi.
Commander Sigma says maybe we'll have some epic taxiing off the Kraken or the Idris. Oh, I like that.
Right, so
Yeah, because really, I mean, why do you need? I guess there's no real sort of runway on the Kraken. It's really just launch pads.
Mm-hmm. Imagine crashing onto a Kraken.
what distance do we scan at?
Like pad ramming the Kraken to kill it.
Pad ramming the Kraken.
And we have in the new flight model, which I believe is going to be
You definitely see where planetary tech has really advanced.
Especially with the height mapping.
I think it's one second.
So the new one has a lot more accurate on the atmospheric
St. Tobin was
modeling.
just saying it's amazing how
Modeling
far the game has
drag,
come. When we were
lift
oohing and
correctly,
eyeing
and,
to
so
something
the
this
different size of
mundane.
atmosphere. It won't be in 3.3, but our goal is to get the new model.
This was,
in
this was
3.4.
amazing to still see.
But
It still looks good. It holds up,
gonna-
but like you
gonna
said,
change
it's
a
just
lot of
done
things.
leaps and
Probably
bounds
takes
since
some
then
getting
over the
used
last
to.
2
There's
years. It's
definitely a different
beautiful
feeling
out there now.
performance down on planets than there is up in space, which is really good.
I was
and also
recently
it
blown away
depends
with
on
the new
ship.
patch
So,
when I
like,
went out where
ship
water
has
was and I could hear the
more
waves, and I was
atmospheric
like, oh
ability,
wow,
like
that
Gladiator
is
for
so
something,
cool.
Flies a lot better and can turn much tighter in atmosphere than say an Aurora, which is basically a flying brick.
Speaking of water, the next patch should have
It's
seaweed and things
very
that float
cool,
on
and
the
if you
top
feel
of the
it-
surface.
I
So
don't know in our land room if we're actually
that's
showing
the advent
atmospheric,
of us
we're
actually
letting people
falling
play with the
into
atmospheric
water,
flight
maybe
there, but
floating as well.
It definitely feels different than when you're in space,
Ooh,
which
that's
is
going to be
something I
big.
think a lot of
It's gonna be so
people
big.
wanted to see.
Landing at
We now
890
have
water.
the new one.
I'm gonna
So
say that Star
the goal for
Citizen has
scanning,
really
obviously,
made it
is to give you a
when
general
we start to
area
have
that you
like
need to go
planets
and
with
scan.
underwater
You need to ping.
civilizations.
And then from there, it's about hunting and finding what
Submersibles.
you
I
need
don't want to
to.
get started, Stim. I don't want to get started.
I want that
That's
600.
another
I want
show.
that 600 and that 800 water to go in the water, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we went to the general mission marker and then we
Are
scanned
you
it.
pro it or for it?
But you saw it.
Pro or
Oh.
against, Kemi?
Well, you got to look at. I'll get put a smile on your guy's face when you look at the 890 jump. You can't help but think of the movie Fifth Element and what all that means. And when you say 890 jump and it's fully realized that you're talking about the advent of these locations that you fly to and giving these pretty views, and you got to set that thing on water and just sit there and let the sun set, and it's just like, okay, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. We're coming back on this tour with this guy, So
More about
yeah,
exploration.
yeah, it has to set on the water.
Yeah,
It has to.
I agree. We got to get there. It's got to be that sort of cruise ship.
Well, I want the 890 on the water, just like Kimmy said, and I want the 600 under the water.
A lot of people talked about that, Griff. That's been a heavy conversation.
Oh, he's going for a landing.
And this is it's still beautiful. I mean, this Savannah looks great.
On the yacht club, we worked with a guy named by the name of Dr. Contrast. That he's an industrial designer.
He
He's worked.
designs.
Yeah, and so we worked with the community, everybody in the on the show, and all of our followers. And we went through a decision tree process, and we designed a starship together. And he drew it. And it's absolutely amazing.
It was cool. You guys gave the prints out, right? Didn't you give the prints out or something like that for that?
Yeah, yes. So we did a live stream, obviously, but it was a giveaway, and we did it for a charity. So it was a charity giveaway. And so if people gave in $25, they got a print sent out to them. And then we ended up, and then if they gave $50, we gave them like challenge coins and stuff like that too. It was a really, really cool event. But one of the things is as we designed the ship, I had to go through this process of creating like a completely totipotent branching path of how we could go, as whether what the roles for that ship were. So I'm gonna use this over and over again. We've only done it the once, but we ended up creating a science-based vessels research and development that has had farming, industrial farming. So I've got categories and subcategories, and each ship can have 2. And then based upon how it's designed, you can have, you can put points towards different things as you work on it. And so we ended up doing voting. They vote as they go. And we had this amazing ship, but one of the things we had done is, you could have it's the design of the ship, and one of the designs is an underwater ship, right? So it's a ship that's able to be, and you've got amphibious versus so pretty neat. And then that one ended up having a command module, but it's like, well, how does it go and get its samples as a farming ship? Does it have a command module? Does it have a snub ship that goes down? Does it land itself, or is it something that can only be in space?
The most you get is either
Pretty neat.
sort of kind of sparse
Now,
amount.
Scabian, just so you know, this is 2950. They can make a ship that goes inward and outward on pressure. I'm not going to let you get away with that comment. Go ahead,
No, we had the conversation before.
I know. Go ahead, Kimmy. I'm sorry to cut you off. We're at the. By the way, guys, this is the wreckage of the satellite. This was the mission that he was given, and he's got to go in here and pull a card. Go ahead, Kimmy.
Well, it just speaks to, when you're talking about underwater submersibles, it speaks to the science. It speaks to the science fiction. When you got to give you got to give credit to Jacques Cousteau back in the day, and you have to give credit to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea back in the day. And as we look throughout the verse, we see these love letters of sci-fi throughout its universe. So it's got to happen.
Did you ever see SubQuest ESV?
Sequest.
Yes.
Sequest.
The animated or the live version?
The sitcom or the episodic show. Yeah.
If you don't put it out, it's pulling
Is there a live version?
out of the air.
Yeah, that's what he meant. He meant the sitcom.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Systemic stuff that we want
I didn't know there's an animated one. Maybe I saw that.
Live and exist in.
I was hoping that one day, what we've seen recently coming up about flames and fire, that we'd start becoming impacted by it. So I'm looking forward to this whole thing of fire taking damage, from heat and fire now, where you can even be around the heat for so long. Because right now, you can go do that mission, and you know what I mean, as long you're okay. But I want it to be where even if you stay there too long, you start to feel the effects of being around very intense flame.
Yeah.
Griffin, I don't need
shows that we're going to see the opposite.
Griffin, I don't need another thing, but he was tell me the don't get fire.
You broke up, fastcart. You said you don't need what? Okay.
Another game, but he would say don't stand on fire.
Oh.
Stage one, we're working on it, but yeah, you'll be able to, mantle.
And different types of fire, right? Radiation. But you make a good point, Griff, that you pointed this out, that this is probably where they started looking at fire as a thing to develop and be part of the game. We're definitely going to see this in Squadron 42 in regards to Vandal attack. So,
oh, definitely.
Wow.
When we were looking at Inside Star Citizen over the last couple of weeks, and they were talking about fire propagation.
Is this the jump?
It's like old school.
Yeah, this is the jump,
Yeah,
right? Sorry to cut you off. This is the jump.
Sprint.
Go. Ready.
Control pad.
Exactly, Kimmy. That's the problem,
Using
right?
the control
Using
pad,
that game
man.
pad. That game pad ain't gonna cut it. That's it.
No, that's the actual problem. Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I talked to him after the show, and he looked haggard because everyone was giving him crap about missing the jump, but he said that during the presentation he had a light shining onto his monitor. And it was directly, the light was shining directly onto the area in the center of the monitor, so he had a blind spot. So that's why he missed the jump.
Now he's making excuses.
That's what I was gonna say. Typical CIG
I mean,
excuse.
you got a day before
CIG
to practice
excuse.
all this stuff, dude.
I mean, it's hard to see depending on how big that glare is. But yeah.
But what a thankless job. Like, it's super scripted. He's got to do it. He's got to anticipate what Chris wants. If Chris says, just look over here or whatever. And then he's got to get it right. And anything he does wrong, it's just
boom.
There we go.
People actually felt bad for him. They actually felt bad for him.
Yeah, I did too.
And he messed up
I
his
did
legs.
too.
And he messed up his legs. Look, he's bleeding. That's even
Heal
worse.
yourself.
Enter the God code.
Hurry up and heal. Hurry up.
Glenn.
Hurry up.
Up,
Oh,
down, down, left, right,
no.
left, right.
Yeah,
PA,
you better
PA,
get
select
that
start.
med
Nope.
pack.
Hurry up. He ain't gonna make it.
Nope.
He is not gonna make it.
Nope.
You better work fast, buddy.
Right.
That screen's
You got it.
almost black and
Yeah,
white.
I think it was V back then.
Oh, he can forget it.
This was karma on Glenn.
There it is. He can forget it. Yeah.
Can we fast forward the video like 5 minutes now? Something like that.
Gotta have that med pit in the right spot.
Didn't they?
He
save
jumps
I'm
to it.
trying
He
to
jumps to
remember.
the spot. Yeah, he doesn't. We don't go through all that again. I don't think. Does he? I thought they jumped to where he was there. or something.
There's a little bit of it, but not much.
Is
Yeah.
there?
We're gonna
Grab a
cheat.
little bit.
We're gonna use a
Oh, no,
developer
he's
I think
back.
we went
like,
to another.
Yeah, he says we're gonna cheat.
Developing.
He says we're gonna cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are gonna
It's like a
teleport.
minute.
Okay,
What
we
was
did say
amazing in
real
that
game
video,
played
if you
live.
guys noticed that,
There you go.
you saw the shadow of him attempting to jump, but he didn't jump. He just stepped
Next time
into
you
that
fall, you should
pit.
probably med pen
The shadow
before
basically was mimicking his exact movements. I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yep.
Also, when I talked to him after the show, this is him. He actually said this. He's.
Glenn, like, made that jump every
You might kill me
single-
for saying it, but this is. I'm quoting him. He actually said this. He said, "White men can't jump." This is him saying that.
That's funny. It's such a trope.
Yeah, I think the
love it.
fans were good, had a good humor about it. You know, I mean, these are weirdly enough. The non-perfect demonstration is great. You know what I mean? If we saw everything flawless, you know, it makes you question and wonder. But the fact that the
You
devs
got
are the
it.
ones doing this, and Glenn has become a favorite for doing this stuff.
Oh,
All right, here we go, buddy. He's
now-
pumped now. He's pumped this
Go,
time.
Glenn, go.
Yeah. Fourth time the charm, and he made it.
Yeah, he's pumped.
Is this
And
mission
we all
still out
cheered.
there in the
I
verse
remember that.
currently?
We all cheered like really loudly for him when he made it.
What'd you say, Kimmy?
Is this actually in the game
Yeah,
still?
yeah.
So
This
again,
this
you're
mission,
looking
for
it doesn't.
prototypes.
You don't pull it from up here though. It's on the side, if I'm remembering correctly.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you can just go and find it and walk around it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to the tactileness that we want.
I mean, you don't have to play the Mario Brothers music for that jump anymore.
Prototype. Makes sense.
Do, 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 do.
So we can just drop that. Exactly.
This is
Check this one
garbage.
out.
Don't need that.
Oh, we were talking about this on another show, the blade and the
Prototype one.
stuff like that for putting cartridges in.
Yeah.
There we go. So
Is that what this is? Was that like a
probably got
power
here first and
module
taken
or
the
something? Or
prototype.
like
For
a
this one?
computer that needed
So,
AI blades?
what we need to
No,
do
this isn't
A
the
data
AI blade.
card.
It's a data card on
Example
here. Yes,
of
this isn't the
multi-part
blade.
mission, right? So
Yes.
this mission could have ended here and you had the prototype as one of the things, or it can carry on and someone's taken it. In this case, someone has taken it. So we got to find out where
It's
the
great to
prototype
see
is.
how they use those codes to identify objects and how they carried it over to the actual cargo aspect or cargo running where you have multiple cargo boxes with specific
don't have
coded
payload
numbers to
just
them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah, we
refreshing to
gotta
see them
So if we
recycle the
go in
tech
here,
throughout the
this is an
game, but yet
example
it's
of,
still different
Right.
in how
you know,
you
like,
approach
another
it.
thing you could do or a puzzle is
Yeah, and that's
the
an
satellite
early
shut
vision
down,
into kind of
but if we maybe
how
get our
physicalized
multi-tool out,
inventory is going to be so important.
and
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
cut away those restraints there.
Now this I actually cannot wait for. This is coming up. They've talked about this now with the multi-tool now.
The welding.
Mhm.
Yes.
Falls off.
Very nice. Good
There'll be
point,
things
Griff.
in the game that'll let you read what you can use it for on.
You mean it's been 2 years and it's still not in the game, Griff?
And hopefully it will allow us to track where the prototype is.
Just like hand mining, we'll probably see hand salvaging, like going into the black box and cutting away metal and being able to reach other
Components and stuff. That's right. That's a good point.
components, rooms.
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Have you guys played Subnautica and of course, what's the other space game where you've got a multi-tool?
The salvaging
Hello
one.
Games.
How hard. Not hard space. The people who make hard space made the game. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, Subnautica. Yeah.
The one that Sony bought is the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Jeez, kicking my. Come on, guys, in chat. Let me know. The one Hello Games. It was hugely controversial. It's a
Oh, you're talking about.
mile-wide and
Oh, you're
deep.
talking about No Man's Sky?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, I
Thank
thought you were talking about this other one. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking
Oh
about
yeah, I
that.
thought you.
Yeah, sorry,
about
I know,
something
right?
Recent.
Okay,
Total brain fart.
let me stop for a second real quick because we got something coming up. I want to
yeah.
make sure we cover here.
Yeah.
Now, this was the part that we didn't expect in the show. I mean, we knew something was going to happen, but this was a great reveal. Ooh. They're tearing that ship up, aren't they? That's got to be a terrible feeling when you see your ship blow up and you're the only one down there. Got to be a terrible feeling.
Hey Chris, if you're out there, I may need some
There's someone else, and this would be an example of someone else.
There's the pirates and the Cuddy Black.
Missions to come and get there. They've sawn our ship.
Yeah, and they did use a cuddy, right? They stuck with a little bit of the pirate thing there.
Prototype.
And I believe you just called your friend?
Kimmy, I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking grenade launcher right about now, I'm sure.
Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be one of the perfect style weapons to have.
Player 6 just crashed.
What is that?
There it is.
Ian, can you cut to camera 2?
In game.
Oh, listen to the music.
It's
The
working.
Ride of the Valkyries theme
Chris,
is in
can you-
there.
Yeah.
Chris,
Nice.
you're third person?
Everybody started going to their cell phones.
Yeah.
We just called.
The whole audience lit up.
Show the tail.
Cell phones came out and so did wallets.
Cut to
Yeah.
camera 3. There we go.
I didn't buy it originally.
I didn't either. I wish I had bought I've got one, but I didn't buy this version, the Liberator version.
Yeah. I'm not so worried about the unique
Skin, yeah.
versions
It's just
of
a
things.
skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's a anvil drop ship.
We're all
I think this
gonna
was the
end up
first
painting our
for
ships the way
Sid.
we want to anyway.
Also in Squadron 42, and this will
Go ahead, Kenny.
launch with 3.3.
Oh, no. I was listening to you.
Now this is where CIG, where the fans love them, is that when they present a ship and it's ready to
Yeah,
fly.
let's get rid of the bad
You know what I
guys.
mean?
Yes.
You know, to me, that's something that they just need to continue. I'd rather wait instead of hearing that it's in concept or you'll see it 3 months or 6 months from now. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, at this point in the game,
Camera one.
when you show it to us, we're ready to get it, and we're ready. I mean, we want to get it in.
Yeah, and I think that it's even for the the OG backers, right? You know, it's been so long that we've been waiting for some ships that now we're at the point where it's like we really want to see it come in right away.
We lost the.
Danny Messerman, Endeavor.
I can see him on camera. too.
Iron sights.
Okay, done. We're still having some sync issues in the multiplayer. All right, I
I think this was the very first ship they introduced as first concept and able to fly in game. I think it was the very first.
Yeah, I think
I don't
it
think
was.
so. I think there's something.
No, I
I
think
think
it
there's
was.
something before it.
I
It
don't
was
know,
definitely one of
Fastcart.
the first.
Where you could buy it then, I don't know.
It was definitely one of the first in game that you can fly straight away.
Wasn't it
Yes.
Polaris?
No,
No,
Polaris
no,
ain't
no,
out.
no, no.
This is
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Not even
yeah.
in the game yet.
It's something. There's something.
Oh, yeah, it's a big rock.
Trying to remember.
That one. There we go.
The Crunch one says the first two, so maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay. All right, it's up, buddy.
Was the Saber ready to fly when it was the concept?
I don't. Maybe I don't remember the Saber being.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm trying to think.
Tree drill
Saber.
talking.
I know this. I'm thinking about the Eclipse. That wasn't. I don't know about the Saber.
You guys got the FOIP on or not?
I mean, the Saber Raven?
You got the
Raven?
FOIP on. I was wondering if you said something.
Maybe it's the Raven he's thinking about.
Hey, buddy. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
I don't know. At one CitizenCon, there was a ship that was concept and flight ready in the same day.
Okay, let's close it. All right, so this is the
From my
Anvil
memory,
Valkyrie.
anyway.
It is, like I said,
That thing, I mean, before this one. Maybe I am thinking about this one. Who knows?
You can deploy remote turrets.
I think it was just the aha moment when, you know, at a CitizenCon, they're introducing, everyone was on the Kraken, and out of nowhere comes the Valkyrie, and it's like, boom, go ahead and buy it. You get in the game, you play it.
Here's the bottom. You can go up there to where the flight area is. I think if we open up here, it will take us to. It's kind of dark. There you go. Open door. There you go. Hey, and this is.
Now this ship, you know, they just did the competition between this and the Prowler, but the Valkyrie, and you know, we've kind of chosen that these are two distinctly different ships. One's much more stealth, and where the other one is much more going right into the fire. But this ship is unbelievable. You've got 7 people that are handling weapons on this ship,
But if we go back, we've got,
plus 20 people who fly in it, you know, as passengers. It is definitely going to be amazing to see when people are fully implementing and using this thing.
To tell us about the Anvil.
I remember watching Rexzilla really take it to its
yeah.
potential with this ship. And it's all hands on deck with this ship.
Based on weapons
Oh,
or
here's
numbers
the,
or
I
even
forgot, here's the
hardware.
commercial for it. I forgot
They're
about that.
won on choices. For over a century, our ships have distinguished themselves in thousands of civilian and military combat operations.
Oh, yes.
Drink.
All right, so Nubifire says that the Saber was concept for 36 days till it came out.
Get ready for the next generation of
That's pretty flight ready as far as I'm concerned.
Valkyrie dropship.
Especially back then.
Multi-role weapon platform
Yes.
is designed to get personnel in and out of the hottest combat zones. Featuring 4 powerful
It might be the Saber that I'm thinking about.
capabilities. The
And
Valkyrie
this is
capable
true
of landing
VTOL
with
with this
surgical
ship.
precision to deploy assets.
I mean, 2 or 3 of these coming in anywhere is going to be amazing.
Fitted with a vehicle bay and ramp, you can also efficiently launch ground-based troop transports or reconnaissance vehicles in the field.
The whole dropship concept, they got a lot going right now. I mean, they've got Prowler, they've got Valkyrie, they've got the Redeemers coming.
Making sure that your fighting force arrives on site ready to jump into
Yeah, a
the
lot of
fray.
dropships.
Yep. Well, Stim, when you look at the star map, you see why. That's going to be really a thing in the persistent universe when it really opens up in Vandal space and them constantly knocking on the door.
Yeah, definitely Operation Pitchfork is going to need 1 or 2, hey?
Do you guys think they'll put an air shield in this thing, at least for the upper level? I'm not worried about down in the vehicle area, in the cargo area, but up top, where your gunners are, that's very vulnerable still when you open up the ramp or open a side door.
Yeah,
Depends on where you are, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Because, you know, if people are using oxygen tanks in their suits, then they only have so much time if that's considered the outside atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, it can't. The contrast, the resolution.
Oh, Nubifire says she'll take us alien.
Oh, Shield Tech is alien. Oh, interesting. Okay, Nubifire, thank you.
Prowler.
Yeah.
That goes with the Prowler.
Okay, sure. There we go. So yeah, let's switch to player 6.
Can you turn to the right, Daryl? There you go.
And go to the, I guess, to the left, to the front. Yep. So it's a full 180 degrees, I guess, and full down. So yeah, there's 2 remote gunner seats that can man the side guns, remote guns, Gatling guns, and then there's a turret gunner on the top.
Yeah, no, Scavy, and I'm just kind of curious. I've got that ship, and it's always been a concern of mine. If my people don't want to have helmets on who are operating those guns up top, I don't want them to be subject to vacuum once that's implemented.
I don't have the ship, but I would imagine there's doors. compression doors in the interior.
Well, they've got one where the guys sit, where the troops are, and they've got one where the pilot sits. But those two guys that are on those side guns, the ones with the remote guns, they're exposed still, and that's where not to mention that the beds are even exposed. So
Hey,
I don't know. Maybe they will come up with something.
Yeah, they restock your ammo, man.
But the guy who's controlling that gun right there that we're looking at, he's exposed to vacuum if a door opens up.
Oh wow.
Does the side gunner thing work, by the way? I think it does. It's just like you don't get the thing out of some pictures. I mean, Glenn can try it and then we can't switch it. Yeah. Glenn, can you go the side gunner?
Yeah, Noobify was saying you definitely want to suit up on this ship. And it's it'll keep that gameplay real and quick and immersive if you have to have your suit on, and you might be able to run and tap into an oxygen tank or something like that.
Listen, I like wearing those nice clothes that I buy in Microtech. Okay, I'm trying to show off my fashion statement, and you guys are trying to keep me in armor all the time.
Right, so we're heading to. We're heading to
Maybe your dropship approach is more like Prowler.
Yeah, maybe I need to change ships, right?
Maybe a Valkyrie isn't the ship for you.
Maybe. Now, I will say in this presentation, the Valkyrie was impressive, but what they did with the Valkyrie in this presentation, it hasn't come up yet. I'm not going to say it, but when it comes up, I'll say what impressed me. Love the whole AC-30 thing.
Okay.
I think Scuba Steve said it best with.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, this is the part that impressed me. When they did that, that was unexpected.
Yeah.
Okay.
It totally makes me think of Halo. Like the Warthog with that TR.
I guess the military.
Oh, Mass Effect even with the I can't think of the name of the vehicle now, but yeah.
So we have this, the racing version. I think the missile version. Do we? I can't remember.
I think all versions of them are
Okay. All right. We got rid of.
Did they reveal the Tumbril series in this at the same time? I can't remember.
I don't recall.
Chris was just talking about the different versions of them.
Don't run over every single one of them. No.
Okay, maybe there. Yeah.
That's one of the AA cards. That's another AA.
You remember?
And again, this will be another optional
I can't recall.
continuation of missions.
To the
So another
Tumbril.
type of missions that we have in.
There are 150 ships, over 150 ships in the game. I can't. It's hard to keep track of all of them, especially when they come out.
So this is the very first example of underground systems. So we're going to have underground facilities, caves, other kind of things. And this
I think the
particular one,
variants
this
came
happens to be
later.
a kind of I don't know, waste storage.
Yeah, Crunch, I know it's not a luxury ship. I know.
But we'll go check it out.
You can't see my cool hairstyle with my helmet on, man. That's the problem.
What's that? Oh, yeah. All right, well, let's go in, down to the facility.
I think the Tumbril series came later after this. It wasn't quite ready. They did some work on it.
Okay. Who are you with?
Player 3.
Player 3?
Scott.
Scott? All right, so Glenn and Scott are going to go down. Look over at Scott. We're going to go two-team in to try and get the prototype.
I don't remember all this.
I remember this because once it was implemented into the game, we were disappointed. The reason why is because the people who are the bad guys in here are actual human players. When we got it, it was the dumbest AI possible.
Yeah.
It took a little while. But the AI are good now. They're much better. They're much better now.
And now the latest stuff where they have to go and ammo up.
Part of the mission is FPS.
That's pretty cool.
AI mission. So this is
I think a lot of us were hungover as well.
gameplay against FPS AI. Currently, I think it's 3-3. You have missions
So I don't blame you for not remembering half of it.
So the keynote, is this the last presentation of the day, or the opening thing?
No,
This is it.
they did the demo.
You guys have been working very hard on getting all the behaviors working properly. Hit reactions.
I want lean in Star Citizen.
I saw one more
Lean around
guy.
a corner. Definitely. You can lean in real life. This is a simulator, isn't it? No wall hacking or glitching, though.
How about wall running?
If it's realistic. Like everybody in Star Citizen is like a clone, like they're all super fit. So it could happen.
I mean, everyone's the same height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we cut to Scott?
Oh, it's amazing to see how the textures have been upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only 2 years.
And again, diegetic VoIP and VoIP will be there. So when you're there, you can talk to when you've got people in your team, you'll be able to talk to them. So, and it'll all be automatic based on who you make friends and everything. So in this particular case, you wouldn't need to.
No, John, some of us are more fit than others.
Speak or anything. As long as you're in the team, you're all there. It'll be like operating in a real world.
That was the word of the con, diegetic.
I think here is where the CDC is.
Scuba Thieves, Steve,
Right,
thank you for
prototype
hosting.
CDC,
Appreciate
XX.
that.
Okay, and we've recovered the blade now. This is the second part of the two-part mission, and now we've got to take this back.
Now he does call that a blade.
Our drop point in Lawville.
Does?
To get paid.
To get paid.
Even though we know
Where's the server?
It might be a different type of thing, yeah, because it's not. We
Where's
know what
the
the other blade
server?
looks like. Yeah.
It's like a data blade.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the Herald, like external data packs, are still going to be a thing.
Yeah, I've always wondered about the transfer them because they're all on the outside.
So now
like
the
that.
question is, did you get
Yeah,
everybody?
I think they wanted to do that for gameplay so it could be stolen easily. But I wonder if that's still going to persist because really, you know, you wouldn't put it on the outside. And now we're going with the whole breaching technology, you know, cutting tool and all
So
that.
one of the things that we've been
break
working on is
in.
kind of the knockdown system,
We
staggers,
should see the,
those types of things.
we should see
We
the
need to
latest
do some
versions
internal
with
play
the
tests a little bit
Mercury
more,
Star running next
but
month.
ideally we roll that out soon.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
I don't have one, but I do like the look of them.
I won one from Test Squadron actually, from this very con. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much. I love it. I see it as being the daily runner ship that I end up using in the verse. It's like, it's funny, the ship that I'll probably end up using the most is the one I got for free.
Chris talked about it a long time ago that the Andromeda is level to the Millennium Falcon. I guess in function and everything, but when the Mercury Star Runner came out, I'm like, that's the successor to the Falcon. And then when that gray skin was introduced, I had to snag one.
Yeah.
We will add reinforcements.
Yeah, I think I have to wonder if that's going to become the go-to ship for smaller, you know, for folks to use. You know, the Carrack is kind of the go-to now for multiplayer, but I think that one is going to be the one that a lot of people are going to be able to go to and use.
The Star Runner?
Uh-huh.
You got smuggling, data running,
Cargo data running.
It's fast, agile, and that asymmetric design. Oh my god.
All right, let's head back to Lawville.
Now, you know, I don't even remember how this ended. Wow.
You're right. That's I lost track like 15 minutes ago.
I just remember going into the bunker. I don't remember what happens. This is interesting.
This is a special color.
And take off.
Oh yes, so we would say that the Valkyrie that's been flown here is special
no mid bay,
CitizenCon
huh?
edition.
Yes, St. Tosin.
That's if you get the Valkyrie during CitizenCon or within this week, I think you get to have this color as opposed to the.
I wonder if they'll
standard,
ever
we
come
have
out with like a
silver grey
med
camo
bay
and,
module that you can just
those are-
carry around in something that you have size
there's
for
a
it.
military version, but that's just
I definitely see that for the Caterpillar at some point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's a whole like they've even spoken about that being as a module. But
So we're gonna
I
head
don't
back
mean
to
a
gate two,
transportable room or a
and,
module that kind of docks in like Lego. I
basically
mean
show
just
you
like
guys a little
just
bit.
like a med
Hey,
bay that you can
Chris,
plug
can you
into
gain
some
some
like power
altitude
port
and
that's
look in
somewhere
there?
in the ship. I mean, they may not want that kind of modularity in the game, but I tell you, if you want to break meta, you do stuff like that. You have it where you cannot predict what's on a certain ship.
It's kind of like a piece of equipment, kind of like Luke Skywalker when he had his hand cut off. He was in the submerged in the tube.
Rocket tank.
And I love simple things like the heat wave that we see right there, from the engines outside. Just little things like that some
Details.
people don't think about. But man, I love when things like that are put into the game.
I don't know if those are roads. I'll ask
So
Ian.
question for you. If you could go and turn
no,
that
there are-
off,
yeah, in these,
give you
there's
better
built in,
performance,
there's the,
would you
that's
turn it
the,
off?
Nope.
Strip mining bio. They've got the
Right.
That's just me.
strip
Nope.
mining. But there is a road system that is in for the.
I totally agree.
You know what the
It's a
answer
whole
is, Stim?
motion.
The answer is you buy a new graphics card, right?
I would rather lose 5 or 10 FPS than lose visual quality.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd rather.
Good, Kimmy.
this is not that kind of game for, okay, do I need to dial things back to do this, to do that? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to hear that people spent maybe close to 20K, 30K, and then they're having a debate about system requirements.
I don't know, man.
No.
It's not an
No.
esport. I'll give you that 100%. But I got to tell you, if people are running an op, if they're doing a mission and it's about who's the fastest twitch and who can hit and latency counts.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen where
Well,
people are gonna go in and turn off motion blur and all that.
Oh, and I mean, there will be people who will pick performance over graphics, and I think it's a very personal taste thing. But I think that Star Citizen, one of its highlights is the graphics. You know what I mean? I mean, it really, really
100%.
is. And so you're going to find that trade-off point. Maybe you're going to have a certain sync monitor. Like some people have 144 hertz, some people have 75. I have 75 hertz, 2K, and I'm happy with what I have right now. Where other people are like, I got to have 4K, I got to be pushing 144 hertz. You know what I mean? So it's all a matter of preference, I think.
But I think in the concept, they're balancing that out as far as this. You're comparing this to COD. They're changing that in the next couple of patches where they're going to have situations where Chris talked about a long time ago. He wants the FPS to be more of be careful of your steps, looking around, and basically now in the game when we get the new patch, it's going to be all about getting the jump on someone. Basically, when you get that first hit, you're going to have to react to that first hit. And once that happens, it's just you chaining a number of attacks, and it's all over. So basically, it's about stealth. It's about keeping your head on the swivel as opposed to going in and saying, "I'm gonna have enough. I got more frames than you, and I'm just jumping. I have more of a twitch." But no, it's about going in for cover, having the right loadouts, and having the jump on someone.
And not to mention the whole death aspect of the game is going to tremendously tweak the way people decide to do things in the game. What's the risk versus reward? Whether it's in a ship or whether you're on the ground. If I die, what's going to be the price for dying? Is it going to be the loss of a hand? Is it going to be some type of disability, or is it going to be my character is gone now and I've got to start over, and lose the reputation? So there's a lot of variables in there that are going to make us think a little differently about how we handle FPS. But again, you're still going to have those people who want performance regardless of all that. That's their thing,
without a doubt.
Because I got people right now who say I could care less if I can see the slits on that screw. You know what I mean? They don't care. They want to just get in and do what they want to do. I'm one of those people who says, all this money I put in here, I want to see the slits in the screw. I want to see the dust that's blowing through the air. I want to see all that stuff.
I think, and there will be There will be some people who go by day or like whatever they're doing. Like if they're playing theaters of war, they turn down the quality for better performance. If they're just flying in space, they turn up the quality.
I wonder how many people will want, right now they want to do combat, and combat's their big thing, and then as soon as they realize that your reputation, as soon as you, if it's implemented, that if you die, you start from square one, in you're leveling up. Like, if that's the case, with reputation and stuff like that, is that going to turn people off having risky careers? Whether it's bounty hunting or pirating or.
I think the trade-off is that when that doesn't happen and you get what you want, the reward is greater. You know what I'm saying? I think we've minimized rewarding so much that now people don't. You need to have that gap. That there's one extreme in one way, but there's an extreme the other way. Yeah, you may die. You got to start over. But if you win, if it actually happens, if that piracy plan works out, if the reward is big enough, people will stick with it. But if they feel like they're not getting anything for it, then I think you will have that concern about people saying, let me go back to COD.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but according to the 2013 document, the Death for the Spaceman, your inheritor will inherit some of your reputation.
Some of it.
Yeah, but not.
Okay.
But only some. And again, we're talking about if you've been playing a character for 2-3 years.
We don't know how much. Yeah.
If you play a character for 2-3 years, and you've worked hard to maintain certain things, you're going to be thinking about it.
You wonder if there's like a death tax where they take 10% of, you lose 10% of your inheritance that goes down. Maybe you only lose 10% of your reputation.
My attitude is it's like getting old in real life. When you get older in real life, your chances, you don't take as many chances when you get old. You don't jump out of airplanes when you're 60 that much anymore. You know what I mean? When you're 20 and 30, you jump out of all the planes you want. So.
Yeah.
Except if your name was George Bush.
Exactly, right?
I was just thinking about
you
him.
can still be daring.
Yeah,
I mean, you can still be daring, but I'm saying that the chances you take are going to be a little bit different,
How many jumps did George Bush have, or does he have?
I forget. He was old when he did that last jump. Yeah, he was real old when he did that last one.
Really? Man.
Yeah, he had a guy.
76.
He had a guy strapped on him when he did that one.
Okay. So he was a tandem. I've got over 400 jumps, and all civilian jumps, not military in any way. But the last jump I did was about 10 years ago, so in my early 30s.
So when are you going out again?
No.
Not that you won't go. I mean, I'm sure you'll go again. You'll do
what?
some more.
I'd actually really like to. It's funny, once you've owned your own gear and you've packed your own chute and you've done all of that. Jumping on sort of like student gear, rental gear is not really
not the same.
At the same time, you're not current in any way, shape, or form. And what happens is when you go back to a drop zone to go do a jump, they just run you through emergency procedures. They say, okay, show me your emergency procedures.
Right.
You just go and you do it. They're like, okay, yeah, you're good. You can go out and do it. But you also need to, show a logbook, and you need to show that you have experience. It's just like scuba diving, you need to prove, and then depending upon if, I actually can't find my logbook. I lost it somewhere along the way. I still have a jumpsuit, actually. I've got a jumpsuit and a helmet and altimeter and all that kind of stuff, but I don't have my log, so I'd have to either go to an outfit where people remember me, and then do something, or I might even have to take licensing, because I don't want to do a tandem, and gotta make it. And I don't want to. I don't really want to, go through like first jump processes and stuff like that, because that's just. It's great going through your first jump, but it's not the same. Yeah.
You just barely made the train.
Yeah.
It's funny, we talk about jumping out of airplanes. A lot of backers been talking about having either parachutes or the wing squirrel suits to glide down to safety.
Now, there's another developer who has those squirrel suits, right? But we won't say who it is.
You had
Metroid
okay,
RTX. Metroid RTX.
Never mind.
Thank you for the follow. You wouldn't want to be accused of taking that idea from someone. I know. I knew you'd get a laugh out of that, Kimmy. I know.
Oh, wow.
When Kimmy said squirrel suit, I was thinking the same thing, and I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let it go.
Did I just say that? Redacted.
Yeah, when the transit system's
Holy
fully working,
smokes.
we've got
Stim, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
I don't know why we're laughing about it. I'd love to have a squirrel suit in.
Oh no, there's a there's
No,
a
he
there's
doesn't
a there's
know.
a there's a game with the initials LOD that is a highlight of the game trailer, and so just think about someone who was very controversial about Star Citizen, who had a real problem with it. Okay, in that game, they have squirrel
Toxic.
suits as a big thing. It's a big thing.
Okay.
Oh boy.
But would it be just
No, put it
a
this
big
way.
middle finger to throw it into Star Citizen?
Put it this way: the technology for the squirrel suit is at least a decade away.
At least a decade away.
I'd like to jump off of that Hurston building with the
Oh, that'd be cool.
Parachute.
Yeah.
Parachute.
Hey, Kimmy, I won't have to tell you how many times. I think there's been 3 times since I've been playing Star Citizen when I was in Atmosphere, getting ready to depart. You know, I pull out of like Hurston's hangar. I'm about 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet up, and I hit the Y key by accident in an open cockpit ship. And I basically open the hatch, let the ladder down, and climb right out and drop. And my ship is still sitting up there, and I'm just falling. I'm like, okay, that's when that parachute might have came in handy, you know?
I'd like to ask for a feature, and that is like an "Are you sure?" dialogue box. When you
I was just gonna say,
Yes.
maybe there needs to be an option where you have to hold down a button for a certain amount of time.
Right. Yeah, the simple tap thing is not good. That's a good suggestion, fastcart, that you just hold it down for an extra second or so to make it open up, to get out of your seat.
We're in the L19.
Right.
Yeah, we're in L19.
I mean, if you're in a hood, then you're screwed. But I mean, like most of the time when you're typing stuff, no, it's not a good idea.
Ship dealer.
That's right. You're typing, but you don't have chat open.
Yes, exactly.
Perimeter, spaceport, and industry
Oops, I'm self-destruct.
Where you guys at? And dead.
Tyrant Merchant, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. He's in Star Citizen now. Awesome.
Yeah, Jordan is saying he was personally amazed at how true the vision they're staying to right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Do not lock doors.
That'll be the other one we're going to do then.
Yeah. So eventually,
I think the realization came in of having assets, then having the data to support, or game mechanics to support those assets, and then how everything is intertwined or interconnected with everything else. And so there's layers that they have to build out, and then one thing has to wait for the other. And that's the conundrum that they're in today. And a lot of people see this as, oh, it's utterly failure. Yeah. Or what's the problem? And when they explain these things to them, it's like, oh, just keep doing what you're doing, whatever. Just keep doing. I don't want to hear it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
No, but your point is well made. There's so much stuff that is connected to something else. You're absolutely right. And we're just not used to that. You know, the whole thing he talked about the ships with piping and venting, you know, ships having vents for air. I mean, all that stuff's connected, and we don't see that. You know, we just see what's in front of us. So you're absolutely right. Let me ask you guys a question. You guys have been in this station before. Have you guys noticed there's always this vending machine that has oxygen tanks? And I've always wondered what those tanks are going to be for. There's a vending machine at every station that has what looks like large, almost like scuba tanks, but a little bit smaller. And I'm just curious as to whether that's going to be something you're purchasing to put on your ship for oxygen. I have
for the
no
air quality
idea.
on the planet when it really gets bad. Like in my idea or my thinking is that if you stay on Hurston too long, it might affect your character long term or something like that.
Start getting a weird squinty eye or something. That's the first sign.
That's funny, Chip.
Well, it speaks to the thing about they're saying, fastcart mentioned about the air quality, but then like with with us looking at the weather reports, and they say the air quality index, and so we'll probably see signs where we have to actually run to one of those stations and get some oxygen because the air quality has been really, really bad to the extent where people are just dying. And they talk about being saturated in areas where too many players are at one time. That's a great way to knock off a number of people in saturated areas, bring the quality down, and just, kill them off.
Well, Noscavian gives the best answer of all. Maybe it's for the CPAP machine. So there you go.
Right. Your character's gonna have a CPAP machine. You're dreaming big, man.
Hey,
dreaming big. Yeah, the fastcart you mentioned, the whole sort of fires in California and in Oregon and Washington. You know, I'm just across the border here in British Columbia in Canada, and you know, I would like to have a vending machine selling the oxygen bottles right now too.
Wow.
All that
Oh,
smoke
wow.
is coming
I
this
know it's
way.
bad to smoke stuff that way. I heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing compared to obviously how it is in Oregon and Washington and stuff. But there's
Is
news
that
articles.
orange?
It's unbelievable.
Well, no, it's not nearly that orange, but it's you know, it was dark at like noon. It was crazy, but not nearly as orange.
So here's the new deal. A couple of obviously ships that are coming in 3-3. There's the Phoenix.
I think we're coming to the end of this now. Now I'm remembering this is. I think this is toward the end now.
Yeah.
And of course, to the right.
There's
able to
the
race
Phoenix.
ships.
Yeah, the Phoenix. Yeah, it's become one of my favorite ships. It really has.
Oh, really?
Yes, for soloing, that's the one I love taking out.
You know, the Phoenix has caught some controversy to it because when the 890 was introduced, then these comparisons started popping up between the two, and they were like, "Oh, we got problems with the Phoenix."
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
oh yeah,
quite
they learned a lot. Oh yeah,
this or that.
Each one of them, because the Phoenix was supposed to be the precursor for learning about luxury. Then the 600 that had issues, but then when the 890 came out, it was like, wait a minute, y'all got it right with the 890. We got to go back to those other two ships because the Phoenix is beautiful, but just the layout is goofy. You know what I mean? And of course the 600 needs that rework, and they're gonna tighten it up. So far, I have to give CIG credit when they do their reworks. They have, to me, their reworks have always been better. So I'm content to win.
My only complaint,
except for the beta, except for the beta. I know the Mustang beta. I know we both agree with that. The original beta interior had a much more homey feel. Now it has more of an industrial feel, and it's like, the cold blue.
Got a little story with the Phoenix.
We're still working on the economy. There's a whole matrix in terms
I met Ben Lesnick at DragonCon 2016, I believe, and we spoke, and he gave me a little pin. It was a white a Phoenix, but I thought it was a constellation at the time, and the Phoenix wasn't never really introduced, but he gave me a pin, and I'm like, okay, it's a constellation, and little did I know it was really the Phoenix.
That's cool. That is cool.
Is it really like white, or is it kind of grayish?
Oh no, it's
definitely the Phoenix.
It's somewhere on there. He's got too much stuff on. He can't find it.
No, I'm gonna pull it.
Well, Kimmy, all I have to say is that is baller.
But we get a prospector maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's a Phoenix for sure.
That's cool.
You know, one thing I really like about the Phoenix, and this is super controversial as well, because most people are like, you know, if you have to go to the bathroom, if you're a paying customer on the Phoenix, you got to walk into that front area that's all dark. It's like, well, yeah, but you know, if you're doing like a space flight on one of the early kind of ships to go into space, like the what's the Starship 1 or something that Richard Branson has for Virgin Galactic, something like that. You know? Yeah, Starship. Yeah, so Starship is Elon Musk's one, but I think it's. Anyway, regardless, you know, it's some of the things that you're going to see are not the primo tech. You know, like your seat is going to be absolutely amazing, and the main living space is going to be great. But you know, if you're walking into the front of the ship to go to the bathroom on a constellation, you can't affect the tactical nature that the Phoenix has to have, and you want, you know, space is black. You want to have a dark sort of cabin, or a dark-ish sort of cabin, in a way to fly around in there. At least it's a really viable way. So there's kind of some flavor that, you know, if you're a guest in the back, you're coming to the front to then kind of see, to get a part of the experience of what the crew are kind of going through. There's something to that as well, which is kind of neat. So, I mean, people harp on things just for the sake of harping on them sometimes.
Stim, you're disappointing me. You are not a 1%er enough, okay? You have you've got to stay in the elitist mode, okay?
I'm not in character.
You've got to stay in the elitist mode. We need to have a bathroom that is exclusively ours so that those paid people that we hire have their bathroom in the front of the ship. You're missing the point here.
Recap it and have a little talk with
This
you guys.
simply will not do.
I will see you later. All right? Yeah. Thank you.
All righty.
Joran is saying that's silly.
Don't start, GG. Don't start.
When you have Joran on here, no problem.
All right, that was awesome. Okay, wow, there was a lot to take in. This was one of the longest keynotes that they've done, and folks were pretty impressed with what they saw. Like I said, and just so you guys will know, some of you may have finally figured this out. Each month you've seen us go back and do different CitizenCons, and people say, why are these guys going back and showing old stuff? Well, the reason why we did is that we wanted to show the progression from where this began, all the way back from GDC in 2012. And the timing of this has landed so that we're doing 2018 this month. We were going to be doing 2019 the first week in October, because that following week we would be at 2020. And we wanted people who maybe never saw these. I mean, some of you, we know this is familiar stuff. Maybe you haven't seen it in a while. But we also know there's a lot of people in the community who never saw these CitizenCons. And so we've been trying to progress people, letting them see the leaps and bounds and also the faux pas that Star Citizen and CIG has made over the past, this will be 8 years, believe it or not, guys. We're going into year 8. And so that was one of the reasons why we went through this. I just want you to know it wasn't because we didn't have any material. There was some method to the madness for why we've done that. And again, I have the guys on the show today because they participated and they went to CitizenCon. Let me get some quick feedback from you guys, and I'll start with Kemi. Kemi, if you had to say what the experience is with CitizenCon that you enjoy the most, what, and particularly from 2018 or just CitizenCon in general, what would you share with everybody about CitizenCon?
Specifically for me, it would be 2018 because that was the first time I experienced it. And I must say it was the interaction between the community and the devs, hands down. I mean, it was amazing. The energy, it was electric. It was just so much positive energy in regards to everyone coming together on just one common ground and just sharing the love of what they enjoy, which is Star Citizen. And it was just a feeding of both entities of the community and the devs all together at just one moment, just enjoying each other and just really talking about what they enjoyed about Star Citizen. So that was definitely it. And if anyone who has not ever gone to a CitizenCon, virtual is not enough. You gotta get out there. You gotta do it because it was really amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. Fastcart, what about you? What's you've been to a couple of them, but what stuck out to you for this in 2018?
This was 2 days after my birthday. I showed up on Monday, October 8th, and then we had a bunch of citizens, and I forgot the name of the place, but it was fun. A whole bunch of people showed up and said happy birthday. So that was it. Basically, just the community. I said it before, but I'll say it again. I love the community. It's great to get out and actually put names to faces, and yeah.
Okay. Stim, how about you?
Say it again. Sorry, I was just typing something there.
Oh yeah, no problem. No, just your feedback in relation to CitizenCon 2018. Was there something that stood out to you, the thing that was most enjoyable, or what you would say to people about going to a CitizenCon?
Yeah, so that was my first CitizenCon, and I'd been around since I backed in 2014, but 2016 is when I really kind of got into the game, and I'd watched a lot of YouTube and got a chance to meet just these to see these amazing people releasing content, some of which we have in chat today, like Noobifier, and it was just great to see. To have a chance to go to a con where I got to see a lot of the people and get to meet some of the people that I had been watching, like Gray-Headed Gamer was there. I got to see Lieutenant Dan. I got to see a lot of really kind of cool people and kind of introduce myself and get a chance to kind of start, my own path in Star Citizen as well. And I got to say that, well, there's so much to talk about, but if you're interested in getting to meet, getting more involved in Star Citizen, if you're interested in getting to find, people that have a similar passion as you do, during non-COVID times, you have Bar Citizens to go to if you have one organized near you. You'll always have the Yacht Club to go and check out because we're around every Wednesday doing that show. But the CitizenCon is an annual event that you get a chance to actually meet the people that you're talking to, and you develop friendships, and then you see them again the next year, and you end up chatting, throughout the year, or playing with them throughout the year. And if you're going to take if you're going to take Star Citizen on in a serious way, like it's the game that you're waiting for, that you figure you'll retire with, playing this game. You want to surround yourself with like-minded people and get to meet all these people. And for me, and for Joran, and for a lot of the people that are watching, Star Citizen has become so much more a community-based thing. And you're not going to meet people as effectively if you don't see them in person and get a chance to shake their hand, get a chance to chat with them, have back and forth conversation that isn't just, by typing through a keyboard. The game's much more immersive now, so you can chat, and you can chat through Discord, and that's all come along. But there's something different about being in a con. The other thing I should mention is volunteering for CitizenCon is an amazingly rewarding experience. I didn't do it at 2018. I had the chance to do it at 2019, and it was amazing. You get a chance to see a lens behind the curtain. You get to see how hard CIG staffers work, how stressed and how they get the performance jitters just before they go on and do their talks. They want to make sure that everything goes really well. So you can see their passion and how much they're working for us, and it gives you some perspective on it. And they really put on an amazing show. Each year from 2018 to 2019, it was even better. It's great. I'm super sad we're not going to get an actual con this year. So I can go and see friends that I don't get a chance to get now a chance to see a couple of years running.
Yeah.
And if you want, before we end, we can talk a little bit about what thoughts are for this con coming up and what they're going to do. But come 2021, if you get the chance to go, start planning now, make it a priority, because if Star Citizen's a really important thing for you, you will not be disappointed.
Thanks. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, for us,
For sure.
Everybody on this panel was going this year. Everybody that was on the Soul Citizens team. In fact, we had already purchased tickets. We had done Airbnbs. We were all pretty much primed and ready to go. So it was disappointing, but understandable that we weren't having it this year. But I found it notable that everybody here, none of us talked about how great the show was, or the presentation, or the models, or the role playing, or the Big Benny's trucks. What we talked about was the community and the social dynamic that took place, whether it was between the developers, whether it was between getting to meet people that we've talked to in Discord, people who are in our orgs. That is the thing that stands out more than anything. I mean, for those of you who remember 2016, it was one of the most disappointing years for the fans, but fans said what made up for it was the time they spent talking with people that were at the event. And so that is, the community is really what this whole thing is about. I got lucky. If I had to say what the thing was that happened for me, the day afterward, on that Monday, I was leaving out, and I had some items that I wanted to drop off to CIG, and I didn't get it to anybody while we were at the con. So I said, I'm going to take an Uber. I'm going to go up to the Austin offices and drop it off. And so I did. And there was somebody who worked at the Austin offices that I knew, and came in and said hi, blah blah blah. Say, hey, I just want to drop this stuff off. And so she called Tyler and said, hey, Tyler, there's somebody out front. Come out front. Well, I had met Tyler at VerseCon the year before. And so when he came out, I'm like, he's like, hey, he's like, Griff. I'm like, yeah, hey, how are you? I said, hey, I just want to drop some stuff off. And he said, oh, this is so cool. And so right when I was getting ready to leave, because I had my stuff out there, my luggage and everything, I went to the airport. He says, hey, you want a tour? I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, come on. And so I got a tour by myself to go into the Austin offices.
Aww.
And it was so cool. Now, the reason why I'm sharing that is because for the company to do that, even at this stage in the game, you know what I mean? To say, hey, would you like to come in and see what we're doing? You know, that was very, very cool. Unexpected, because believe me, we've heard the stories about trying to get a tour, trying to get in. But the fact that they just were willing to do something like that, I was there for like maybe 30 minutes, no big deal, but it was great. And it was nice to be welcomed like that as a person who's backed the game. They are very personable. And like Kimmy said earlier when he was talking with Brian Chambers, you know, just being able to sit at the bar and talk with them and share a drink. Or some of you guys know, after the con, people stand around for hours to get stuff signed. And Chris and all of them stand there and wait till the very last person, 3 hours later, is finally signing the last book or the last souvenir item or the last shirt. So I was just really impressed with that. That really, really stuck out with me. Let's do something real quick because Stim did hit on something that I was going to ask, and it was going to be in light of there not being a CitizenCon this year in October. And for those you know, October is the technical quote-unquote anniversary month, but sometimes it's November. But Stim, real quick, if you had to say what do you think will happen, what will they do? Will they do something virtual? Will they do a special sale? Will they just be doing the week where we get the 7 days with manufacturers? What's your pitching for this year?
Yeah, I'll be super quick because I have no idea. All we know is that they're not going to have an in-game con, so it's not going to be a con in game that kind of tries to emulate what that experience would be. But I sure hope they. I'm sure they'll have a free fly. I'm sure they'll do something like Invictus, some kind of in-game event. I'm sure they'll do that, and I think they've mentioned they're going to do something to that effect. And then I'd just like them to do some Twitch stuff, make it super interactive. I'd love them to do virtual panels. So even though we can't be there, I'd love for them to set up and actually do those panels. I want Tony talking for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just to tap in and listen. And of course Todd Pappy and a lot of the other guys, all those different panels. I want to see that and be able to watch them after and review and have the ability to have some sort of live chat with people like this as they're going on. So that's what I'd personally like. Also, virtual conferencing has become extremely advanced in the last while, and COVID-19 and all the conferences that were canceled this year, I've seen a huge improvement in virtual conferencing technology. So there are opportunities for them to do things. It's not the same. You can have breakout sessions and have all kinds of stuff. So I'm really curious to see what they end up putting together.
Okay, cool. Kimmy, how about you?
Well, I think it's a time period of what's going to happen come October all the way into the first quarter of 2021. And in regards to October, we're going to probably see a hybrid of them doing some live video and then some pre-rendered things, but then it's going to be heavily loaded with announcement dates and tech that's coming online. But it's definitely going to be something special outside of the usual inside Star Citizen type of deal or the calling all devs type of deal. It's definitely going to be a hybrid, but it's mostly online and video based. But to some extent, it will be probably your heavy hitters talking and discussing further iterations of the progress in our tech and some announcement dates for sure.
Okay, nice prediction. Fastcart, what about you? What's going to happen in October?
I think Stim and Kimmy hit it on the head. I don't have anything to add. It's just that I'm going to miss not seeing all the familiar faces this year.
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with you guys. A virtual thing would be cool. In case you guys don't know, they the average amount of people that now come to a CitizenCon is under 2,000 people, I think I want to say roughly. So as you mentioned,
it was 1,700 in 2018.
Right, so it's feasible. It is feasible, as you mentioned, Stim, to do the virtual conferencing with breakout rooms and everything.
Yeah.
So and to I think it was Jet Heller. Jet was saying that he's an Aussie, and for folks in Australia, one of the things I didn't mention about CitizenCon is that it's global. When you go to these things, people fly in from all over the world. So now people like Jet, who's in Australia, other people around they can now participate and be an integral part of that experience as well if it's done virtually. So I think that's an awesome thing. Okay, last question of the night. If you had to predict a ship or a career that might be revealed, because you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. And there's some ships that are online that we haven't heard or seen anything yet. Like, for example, the Nautilus. There's this rumor about an Odin. There's all these different things. There's the cargo Xeon ship from last year. There is the refinery. If there's something that you would call out and think might get shown, might be revealed at this particular time, let me start and go the other way around this time. Fastcart, which ship would you go for?
A smaller refinery sounds good to me. I'm not sure.
Okay, the refinery, which was the highest voted ship, but seems to be the last one coming out from last year's CitizenCon. Kimmy, what about you? You got anything you think in mind?
I would love to see the Vulture make its debut.
Interesting pick. Okay, Stim.
Yeah, I still not enough time. They normally come out with a big ship, right? There's normally a big ship reveal, and I have no idea what that would be this year. I can tell you what I would love to see. I would love to see them push further on exploration, but the problem is they focus more these days on showing things that are shorter term. So we're probably going to see something more along the lines of combat, bounty hunting, maybe the cargo stuff. I mean, if they sort of doubled down on hauling, with the Hull series, if that were able to come out, that would be pretty big. I mean, it's not groundbreaking new, but it's something people are waiting on. One of the things I'd really want to see is like server meshing. I'd love to see them come out and say, yeah, we have this test server going. We're about to announce to Evocati. We expect to have 1,000 people on it. It would be amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing. That
would be amazing. That's a good one. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with a weird prediction, and I'm going with my dream prediction. Okay, the weird prediction is there's been this theory that some of us have been talking about how they've been working on mining in a big way, and they could close. Well, I won't get into the thing with mining right now. But the docking piece we just saw recently. We saw docking. We know the whole sea is there. If docking gets implemented, then there are a lot of ships that can begin to take advantage of that now. Just that mechanic alone, right? Everything except for my reclaimer. I still don't know how we're going to get in and off of that thing. But but a lot of ships can take advantage of docking. And the reason why I'm mentioning docking is because you've got the aspect of cargo with the cargo docks coming up. The refinery, as Fastcart said, could be an issue because we know the refinery is after cargo decks. But here's my dream wish. Meek B2G, thank you for the follow. Here's my dream wish. In 2016, you guys remember Chris put up those cards with 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and he said what was coming? He said when 4.0 comes out, it's going to be the Orion. I want them to close out mining and the Orion come out.
Wow.
I know that's a dream. It's a serious pipe dream, but I would love to see it.
Not.
Because it would close out
Pyro.
mining. It would close out mining. If it did, then the mining ships are all in the game. The refinery mechanic is in the game and everything. But that's a huge push. But I'm holding Chris to that 4.0 promise from 5 years ago. So that's going to be my thing.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might be disappointed.
I plan on it. Don't worry. I plan on it. Well, listen, we had a great night tonight. We had a great panel, great information. And of course, it was great to go back over the information that we saw from 2018 at CitizenCon. So let me start with Stim. Tell people where they can find you. And again, thank you for coming.
Oh, man, it's been a complete honor. Thank you guys for having me on your show. I think we're all sort of one community when it comes to Star Citizen. So it's just great to have a chance to get some exposure to your community and kind of get a feel for your guys' show and what you do. I've had an absolute blast, so thank you so much. I've been seeing a lot of you guys, do streaming and stuff too. So it's nice to meet you guys in person, and well, in virtual person, especially under COVID days, you can kind of say it's in person. So it's been a real experience. When it comes to how you can find me, I'm one of the members and the producer of the Yacht Club, which the URL for that, if you go to the website, is Yacht Club BC, which stands for Yacht Club Bar Citizen. We are the official Bar Citizen, the virtual Bar Citizen, since that's where we can go. And we'll obviously persist past these strange days that we have. come and check us out on Wednesday nights. We do a weekly show where we talk about everything that's been happening in Star Citizen. We talk about what's happening in the community that's really interesting, whether it's stuff that's posted on Reddit, to projects, to machinima that's being put together. And we do a tiny bit of theory crafting, but we keep it sort of real. We also have a lot of really cool guests on our show. We've had Xylo, we've had Salty Mike, we've had a whole bunch of and I'm only mentioning a couple. We have so many great guests, and we have guests of all different exposure levels on our show as well. And we're actually opening something up, which is really neat, where we can have some of those guests come back and just jump on and be panelists for the show. So we're working with a new technology that allows us to just have guests hot join and leave. And very soon, once we work out one more thing, we're going to have it so that those that really want to jump on to ask a question and do it live, if they have a decent mic, will be able to just jump in and ask a question on the show as well, without it just being in text in the background. So we're working on some neat stuff. So what we do is we hang out. We talk about Star Citizen. We celebrate just being positive, and any criticism is constructive about what's happening with Star Citizen. And if you need to vent, you can vent too. But we're really there to help sort of promote the game and to make sure that people can find their place in the verse by finding a great group of people that actually shares their interests in what they're going to do in the verse. So come and hang out and have a great time. We also do live gameplay together, anywhere from between 15 and 30 people on Mondays, Saturdays, and Thursdays. So we're a really active community. So feel free to come around and join up, and we'll make sure you find your home, whether it's with us, or we point you to the right organizations that are out there. Come and have a good time.
And these guys are a great bunch of people. I've gone out with them a couple times as a group. You don't have to have an 890 to join them. If you don't, they'll make you work in the kitchen. But other than that, they're great. So they're a great bunch of folks that have fun. They're a great bunch of guys that have fun. And ladies, because they have ladies too in that group. They're a great bunch. Kimmy, where can folks find you?
Oh man, you guys, and you'll see me time to time on Twitch at KEMI65. Chill music, hanging out, talking about the game, theory crafting, doing a little bit of lore. And if you want to know about your setup, any questions regarding that, talk to me.
Kimmy is a tech wizard, gang. So he's got a very, very involved system, and he can help you. If he can work his system, trust me, he can probably help you with yours. So check out to him and use him as a resource. And Fastcart, last but not least, where can people find you other than all over the place?
I'll be quick. Twitter.com/fast_cart.
Fastcart's got to run. He's got another gaming thing to go, so we're not going to keep him. But thanks, Fastcart. Thanks, Kimmy. And, of course, Stim, thank you for coming. And to all of the folks who are out there today, thank you guys for joining us. We are going to do a quick raid. Oh, don't forget to join us on Fridays for Friday Night Live, where we do a live where you can join the show and jump in with us and talk to us about Star Citizen. We talk about Inside Star Citizen. We usually talk about calling all devs or something along those lines, and we have a great time with that. Who we got that we can send out to? Did you look at anybody, Fastcart?
No, I did not. But I was going to say, don't forget to buy our shirt or our my pad or the cup.
Oh yeah, we do have some Star Citizen swag down there, gang, and we didn't do a giveaway today. It's kind of late, but we'll do one next week. But we're gonna go ahead and raid. How about we raid Spades CO? That's somebody that we haven't raided before. My bad typing. Alrighty, so when you guys get over there, you see Spades CO, give him a shout. He is playing Star Citizen right now, and of course, we're going to surprise him with a little raid. We appreciate everybody being here tonight. You guys take care of yourselves, stay healthy, stay safe, and remember, as always, peace, love, and soul. See you guys later. Take care.
Bye, everybody.